Greetings, brothers and sisters from around the world. Pull up a chair. It's time to get down to the business. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, Mr. Jason Black. Glad to have you all back with us here again as we embark on another program here to help clarify things, getting it live and direct from the foundation upon which all the imitators, copycats, and watered-down individuals from MGTOW, Red Pill, High Value, Low Level, and everyone else, where they get the game from every week and then scurry back to their hidey holes and reword it to regurgitate it to you, watered down, distorted, and corrupted. At least here, you get it directly from the source, and yes, whole lot to deal with where that is concerned. So, without further ado, we are going to discuss today's subject, the class clown. And this is going to be a hard one for some individuals to accept here. It's going to be hard because manhood today is no longer in fashion the way it used to be. Oh, you've got a whole bunch of individuals out here that they are in the adult world, but they are not yet prepared to accept adulthood. And a lot of guys out here are sitting around, they are scared, they are worried, they are looking for respect. You see, biologically, females expect to be adored. They expect to be put on a pedestal biologically. It's in their biology, it's in their DNA. Well, as males, we have a biological urging for respect. We have a biological urging for status. We have a biological urging for standing. So just understand that that's something that cannot be erased. It cannot be removed. It cannot be pulled back upon. It can't be extracted from the male DNA. If you want to know the reason that so many people, so many guys out there today are lashing out and angry and hostile and temperamental, and they're squealing and they're yelling, they're throwing tantrums like babies, it is because he is not respected. He's not respected. You want to know the place that bothers a man more than anything else to not receive respect? It is under his own roof. It is where he lives. You see, a man might be able to tolerate not getting the level of respect that he desires when he's at his job. He might tolerate not getting the level of respect that he desires when he's in the general public, when he's in somebody else's place of business. But when he is under his own roof, when he is under the roof that he provides for himself, when he's standing in front of the refrigerator that he's acquired for himself, when he is looking at that, that's the place he demands respect. There's no reason whatsoever that he should not get respect when he's standing under a roof that he's paid for. No logical, pliable, explicable reason whatsoever. So if that is happening, that's going to be an environment where he simply cannot tolerate it. He can't tolerate being in a situation where he is the protector and provider and is not simultaneously the most respected. So there are only three things a man can do in that situation. Number one, he can chin check everybody and let them know, hey, respect is mandatory. He can B, abandon the idea of being respected altogether, or C. And C is the one I want to talk to you all about here today in this special midday broadcast of The Business. We're just doing this impromptu here, but this special midday broadcast, I want to talk to you about that third category of individual. And while I do that here, I want to thank everyone here tonight who has contributed more than just lip service So Objective News Agency, my girl Courtney, as always, MCLMNOP, Robert, everyone who has contributed through the Cash App, thank you for that as well. And it's going to be well worth your while. It is going to be well worth your while. I want to talk to you about the third category of male. The third category of male is the one who has decided that he's going to attempt to camouflage his lack of manhood, his lack of respect, under a disguise of being the class clown. That if he cannot earn your respect, he will earn your amusement. Understand that. If he cannot earn your respect, he will earn your amusement. And you see, that's a mechanism whereby which individuals who are afraid of being destroyed attempt to shield themselves from destruction. Understand, as a man, if you are not productive, you get destroyed. You all can see here, as I'm giving you all the game directly from the Black Book, you can see I'm not having to check notes on anything. These are the foundational life lessons. What I'm telling you all right now, this isn't something I'm making up on the fly. Write this down because these are life laws. These are the laws of life. As a man, if you are not a producer, you get destroyed. Let us be clear. Even in this phony, fake, ridiculously fictitious society we live in today that says that women are builders. No, the men are the producers. The men are the builders still. Not a damn thing has changed. Not a damn thing has changed. You are expected to produce. And as a man, your survival is directly tied to your ability to produce. Period. And when a male is unable to produce, understand something. There's really only a couple of things he can do if he cannot produce. A male who can't produce, do you know what we call a male who can't produce? We call you a female. Oh, am I killing all the sacred cows today? Yes, I know you high value folk just imitate all my intonations. I get it, but oh, am I turning all the sacred cows into hamburger? Got to do it. Got to do it. A male who cannot produce is a female. A male who cannot produce starts taking on feminine affectations. Look it up. A male who cannot produce begins to mimic feminine ways of doing things. Women are creatures of ornamentation. Remember when I taught you all this? Females are creatures of ornamentation. A woman puts on accessories. From the time they're little children, they stick flowers in their hair. They like to wear shiny things. They got 8,000 types of underwear. Females are creatures of ornamentation. A man isn't supposed to be a creature of ornamentation. He is supposed to be a creature of implementation. A man is supposed to be a creature of execution, of utility. When you start seeing a male sit up here and start trying to be entertaining, trying to be a creature of ornamentation, trying to focus attention on what he looks like, he's trying to adopt and adapt a feminine way of dealing with the world. You see, he's unable to physically produce. So what he's trying to do is divert your attention and say, hey, what I produce is amusement. Don't destroy me. I serve a constructive, useful purpose. No, I don't produce. I produce amusement. So don't destroy me. I can make you laugh. I can make you giggle. I can take some of the stress off your day. Don't destroy me because I'm not a producer. I don't produce physical, concrete things. Don't destroy me. So ever since you all were in school, let me go ahead and for the fellas right now, I wanna send out the sermon here to the fellas. To the dudes listening to me right now, you all remember back when you were in grade school. You all remember the class clown. You all remember the class clown, don't you? Back when you were in grade school? To the fellas listening to me right now, we all remember the class clown. We all remember that little goofy nigga. Back then, he would come to class. He might have had Jordans, he might not have. But I mean, he came to school for one thing and it wasn't to work. And amazingly enough, he kept getting passed from class to class, grade to grade. All the fellas listening to me right now, you remember him. He wasn't particularly cute. He wasn't athletic. But this dude showed up every day. He wanted to tell jokes. He wanted to tell jokes. He wanted to divert attention. He wanted to do that. He wanted to do that. So you do understand, you have to remember here, we as men, we've been watching this since we were kids here. Females thought they were cute. They thought he was cute. They would laugh, they would giggle. That was his way of getting in. You got to understand, broke niggas figure out how to simp early in life. They figure out how to simp early in life. So when you see him get later in life and he's still unable to produce, you got to understand, the brokest niggas are the ones with the most damn jive talk. They don't give information. They're the jive talkers. In the chat room there, J. Moore Lee, when I open up the phone lines here in a few minutes, you'll be required to call in. When I open up the phone lines here in just a few minutes, you'll be required to call in. If you don't, you'll be banned. So let's just be very, very clear. The chat room is not where you question anything. If you have questions, you'll be given a phone number to call. The phone number is in the description. But anybody who wants to try to start playing defense attorney, just understand you will need to do it on the phone. You will not do it in my chat room. That is it. J. Moore, don't leave any more comments in the chat room. You'll be told when to call in. You're done commenting for now. That's it. Welcome to the adult world. You got to understand, the class clown understands his limitations. He understands what he doesn't have. He understands that while the nerd has the computer technical knowledge, and while the athlete has the physical gifts, and while the blue collar kid from the blue collar family, he might have received some training in how to do technical things, the class clown lacks all of that. He doesn't have the ability to produce anything that the society actually physically needs and requires. And he knows it. He's painfully aware of this. So being the class clown is his way of both trying to soothe and alleviate his own pain, as well as fool the society into believing that he actually contributes something useful. These are defense mechanisms. Understand that. These are defense mechanisms. And they learn this at an early age. This isn't something that turns up way later in life. They learn this at an early age. They learn at an early age that you need to be able to do this. You need to be able to deflect and distract from your lack of ability. You don't get a pass. So first and foremost, you have to remember you're going to start seeing these things early in life. They're not going to, that's why we call them the class clown. They didn't show up in college. They showed up in grade school. They showed up in grade school. And so once he gets older, he doesn't, apply himself. He does not apply himself. He doesn't attempt to pursue dreams in the entertainment world because he doesn't actually have dreams of being an entertainer. These are defense mechanisms. So he's fighting hard because being the class clown is the resort of the male who does not actually have the physical and intellectual tools to survive. These are defense mechanisms that hopefully you can keep the dogs off of you long enough to make it through school. And, well, what about life? Dude, I'll deal with life when I get there. I'm just trying to make it out of 4th grade. Then they become grown-ass men. They become grown men in a world where being the class clown gets your damn teeth knocked out. Did you understand that? They have become grown men in a world. They're the class clown becomes a grown man in a world where attempting to be the class clown gets your damn wisdom teeth broke out. Nobody's looking for a grown-ass man making wisecracks all day. You can make a joke here or there, but if you want people to keep you around as a grown man, you gotta be 2% jokes, 98% productivity. You gotta earn the right to make jokes. Nobody wants you doing that. You know why? Because everybody can see. When you get into the grown world, you're in a world that counts productivity. And now when you're still 60%, 70% jokes, it's clear to everybody, nigga, you've been running your mouth, bumping your gums, doing your stand-up routine, and you ain't produced nothing. You see, when you go to work on a construction site, and I've worked on several as a young man, we ain't looking for the nigga who's sitting up here telling jokes all damn day. You better be telling jokes while you're welding. You better be telling jokes while you're moving that sheetrock. You better be telling jokes while you're installing that drywall. You better be telling jokes while you're welding those panels. You better be telling jokes while you're moving that forklift. See, there's a difference between I'm just going to say it like it is. There's a difference between a happy slave and a class clown. I said it. There's a difference between the happy slave, you whistle while you work. Yes, I use that phraseology. There's a difference between him and the class clown. You see, if you whistle while you work, there's still 8 hours of productivity that got done. The class clown has formed a life habit from the time he was in elementary school, junior high, high school, community college, if he ever went. He's formed a lifetime of the habit of not producing anything. So when he makes it to the real world, he's still telling jokes and not producing. When you take a look at the productivity board, he is always at the very bottom. He never exits trainee status. He never exits that trainee status. When you all got hired, he was at 10% productivity. When he got fired, he was at 15% productivity. He never made it any higher. He never did. Ever. Ever. So you got to understand, as a grown man, he then gets offended. He then gets upset because he realizes he's behind before the day is even counted. He doesn't have any of the intellectual, mental, emotional tools that he needs in order to survive in the real world. So he is not respected at the job. He is not respected among the men. He is not respected among the producers. He's not respected at the workplace. He's not respected at anyone else's store. He's not respected anywhere, including when he gets home. Home being a relative term. He's not respected there because he doesn't produce. Because his woman is looking at him and she is comparing him to her at the very least, at the very fundamental level. She's comparing him. Let me tell you something here. The men understand this. The boys, those of you who are failing in life at adulthood and manhood, this is just going to hurt your damn feelings, and I'm here to hurt your feelings and step all over them with these 10-ton boots. But understand something. A man understands that a woman never stops comparing him. Oh, it's going to hurt your feelings to the man babies, the manginas, all you little sissy boys raised by single mama hoes. And you taking on her hoe ways, not the ones raised by a single mother and you discovered manhood. Those of you who are raised by hoes and you've adopted the hoe way, all this is going to offend you, and I'm here to offend you. A man understands that a woman never stops comparing you. A woman never stops looking at you and then looking at the next man and making a value judgment. And let us be clear. That is a woman's biological prerogative. Her biological responsibility is to compare you to others. Your woman is supposed to do that. Your mother is supposed to do that. The first person to do this is supposed to be your mother. Your mother is supposed to look at you and then take a look at other women's children and then say to herself, my son isn't up to code. My son is mediocre. It is my job to lift my son out of mediocrity. Your mother is supposed to be the first person who instills that in you. So when you're little, you got the little shoes and the little slacks and the little button-up shirt, and she might have the little cologne she puts on you, you know. Remember back in the day, your mothers used to put Brute on you? Brute and Stetson, remember that? Yeah, you're the little kids. All right, we're going to put a little, so that you start adopting those things and understanding. All right, we got it. Fine. Go take you for a little haircut. We're not going to try to make you look like no prima donna, but little haircut. But then, as you grow up, you get a little older. You start understanding that. And you start understanding that she's comparing you. Somebody in the chat room said Old Spice. Yes, absolutely. If your mama was smart. But just understand, you're being compared, and it starts with your mother. But just understand, females understand intrinsically that their ability to survive is going to be directly tied to the male that they choose. And when you've got a male who has adopted a mentality of not producing, a woman biologically understands her life is in danger. A woman understands at a primal, skeletal level that when she's with a man who does not produce, her life is in danger. Her safety is in danger. Her well-being is in danger. She understands that. So she begins comparing you to see, wait a minute now, she starts comparing her level of danger and jeopardy to all the other females that she knows. She starts comparing it to them. She starts looking at them and asking herself, am I in a higher level of jeopardy and a higher level of danger than these other females are? That is why women compare men. That's why women compare men. A woman is constantly evaluating the level of danger and jeopardy that she is in. And if her man is financially incapable, that's jeopardy. When a man is physically incapable or unwilling, that's jeopardy. When a man is intellectually incapable or unwilling, that's jeopardy. And she understands that's jeopardy. So this is when the deficient males who have spent their lives as the class clown, this is when they start feeling some kind of way. They start feeling some kind of way because now those standards that they spent their elementary and middle school years avoiding and circumventing, those standards have returned and come back with a vengeance. Those standards have returned and have come back with a vengeance. With a vengeance. And that's where you are now. So where your teachers might not have made this clear to you. Your teacher might not have let you know. Your teachers might not have made it undeniable that you weren't meeting the code. Even your mama might have let you slide. Your mama might have let you slide, but the rest of these folk, no. Starting with your woman. Because your woman understands it's not like your teacher. Your teacher could go home. Your teacher could go home to her husband. Your landlord, your manager of your apartment complex, she can go home to her husband. But your woman got to go home to you. Her survival is resting in your hands. Her ability to have a better life is resting in your hands. And if she's put it in your hands and you're the damn class clown, she starts letting you know, oh, that bull jive was cute when you were in school. Back then, people laughed. She ain't laughing. She's not laughing. Now, let me explain to you right now. Now, see, here's where I've got to educate your high value posers and everybody else here. It's time for everybody to get the game from the foundation. Now that you're here at the foundation upon which all the posers and imitators rest upon, let me go ahead and explain something. Let me explain to you what the insult and the peril is of the average man. The fellow who is identified as average, and why is it that even the average female does not respect the average man? Well, she doesn't esteem the average man. Let me explain to you why it is. Nobody else has ever done this for you all. Let me put it in clear perspective. The reason that women, and I'm going to talk particularly specifically about black women, but the reason that women in general, black women in specific, get insulted and scared when you say, you know what? You should pursue the average guy. The reason they get insulted and scared when you say that is because the average guy in America is struggling. There it is. Nobody else told you all this. Nobody else laid it out on the line, but let's just say it clear and plain like it is. The reason that females, including the average female, is scared when you say that she should be with the average man is because the average man is struggling. He's struggling. The median income in the United States of America today is between $52,000 and $54,000. Let me say that again in case I said it too fast. The median income in America today is between $52,000 and $54,000. So about $50,000 is the median. For those of you who do not know what that means if you took the poorest person in America and the richest person in America and then laid out everybody in between from the very poorest to the very richest, the person standing in the middle would be the median. and the reason they use median as opposed to average is because averages can be skewed. Medians tend to be a bit more accurate in determining a society in general. So the median income in America is about $50,000, $52,000, $54,000, depending on which one you take a look at. Now, do you realize how many cities in America today see when our parents were coming up, $50,000 was good money. Today, $50,000 is a living wage. $50,000 today is a living wage. But in some cities, it ain't even that. In New York, a place with tens of millions of people, 50,000 is struggling. 50,000 is working class. 50,000 is you got to work 6 days a week for 10 hours a day. In Los Angeles, $50,000 a year is working class. In the New England states, it's working class. Understand that. It's not tertiary, it's not optional. And in more and more places, Dallas, Texas, $50,000 a year is increasingly becoming working class. If you live up there in Plano, $50,000 a year is struggling. If you can't even get into Plano, if you were in Plano and getting priced out, there you go. In Atlanta, you talk about the Black Mecca. In Atlanta, $50,000 is working class. In Chicago, South Side, West Side, you know where black folk are, increasingly $50,000 is becoming working class. You're not over anybody. I can keep naming places. We can talk about Miami, really just the whole state of Florida, whole state of California, all the heavily populated places in Texas, New York State, the entire state of New York, the entire state of California, the entire state of Florida. $50,000 is working class. So understand, when you tell a woman that she needs to pursue, quote, the average guy, the average man, all she just heard is, so you think I need to be struggling? Oh, no. I got to keep my options open. I'm not going to accept that foreign answer. The average man is not living a comfortable life. The average man is living a life of going to work, going home, rinse and repeat. The average man is living a life of, hopefully he's got 2 weeks paid vacation, because that's as good as it's gonna get. The average man is not able to drive a new car comfortably. He's able to drive a new car dodging this collector and that collector. He's not able to do that. The average man is not able to take his woman on a vacation and make her feel like at least for a few seconds she's on a pedestal. He can't do that. You see, a woman is looking for a man who can add to her life. And let's just be brutally frank, the average guy has nothing to add to her life except companionship. So the only thing that he's able to do is he can comfort her in her struggling, but he can't lift her out of her struggling. He cannot extricate her from her struggling. All he can do is sit there and hold her hand while she struggles. And a woman, if she has any way out of that, she gonna try to do it. She's going to try to do it. You can call it hypergamy. You can call it whatever the hell you want. She is letting you know you ain't up to code. She is certain. Remember what I taught you all from the very beginning about women and certainty versus uncertainty. She is certain that you ain't going to go nowhere. You're not going to go any differently. So now things change. Now things become different. Now her tone of voice starts to alter. Now she starts getting flip at the mouth. Now she starts acting like she ain't got nothing to lose. See, fellas, understand something. A lot of you were raised by hoes. Can I just say it to you like it is? If you didn't know your mama was that shit. You were raised by hoes who tried to tell you that people have intrinsic value. No such animal. As a man, your value is accrued in what you produce or what you have the capability to produce. Notice what I said. I said capability, not potential. You see, when you got a work truck with tools, you got capability. When you have desktop workstations with functional programs and access to clients and customers, you've got capability. When you a fella sitting on the couch talking about what you hope to do one day when your record deal come through, you don't have capability, you've got potential. And the biggest game that unprepared males run on females today is attempting to convince those females that she should keep him around because he has potential. Ain't never made good on a damn thing. Let me give you all some basic things for you to understand here. Fellas, let me explain to you how you let your woman know that you ain't the class clown. Let me explain to you what producer, Big P, looks like. See, the woman is, if you're going to have a woman, if you're a producer, the woman is producer Little P, you're producer Big P. Let me explain to you what that looks like. Let me show you some basic gestures. What you need to do is get your ass up, and I said it like it is. What you need to do is get your ass up and go to the furniture store. Oh man. What you need to do is go to the furniture store with your woman. And what you need to do is go get her a nice mattress, a nice bed. That's what you need to do. You need to get you a nice mattress and a nice bed. In the chat room there, Nadine, when I open up the call lines here in a couple of minutes, you will be required to call in. And yes, if you all can type in the chat room, you can call on the phone. Nadine, when I open up the phone lines in a couple of minutes, you will be required to call in. Fellas, what you need to do is take your woman to a mattress store, a place where they sell new mattresses, and you need to go buy one. Now, you don't have to buy the most expensive, but you do need to buy a nice one. Don't get some $600, $800 one. No, fellas, you need to get you about a $2,000 one. Best investment you could make. Don't skimp on it. Don't go cheap. Let her sit down. Let her lay down. Let her lay on it. Oh, I'm giving y'all not the game, but the business. Let her lay down on it, and then you ask her, ain't this better than what you've been on? And watch her sit there and say, oh, this is so nice. Oh, this is so nice. And then you go over and you tell the man, by the way, I'm about to sprinkle y'all with a little bit of the business. Your posers, your red pills, they can't tell you this. Let me sprinkle you with a little bit of the business. When you go to one of those places, tell the dude that you found the exact same mattress at another place for $200 or $300 less. So tell him I'm ready to pay cash right now. If the mattress is $2,000, tell him you found it someplace else for $1,700. He gonna knock that $300 off. There you go. So not only did you get her a nice mattress, get that Sealy or whatever. Not only did you get the nice Kings Down or whatever it is, not only did you get the nice one, But you're able to show your woman that you know she didn't think you can negotiate on a mattress. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And you go ahead and tell them, I want that damn thing dropped off this Wednesday. Yes, sir. We're going to take care of that for you here. Thank you. Salute when you go out the door. When the things show up, if she works, try to make sure it's delivered before she gets home. See if you can get it delivered before she gets home. When she come home, you get that old damn mattress out of there, that old damn box spring with the busted springs on it and whatnot that she been sleeping with other niggas on for the last 20 years. Get that damn thing out of here. So I ain't here to fill up the damn, there's a lot of you dudes. How many of you fellas, can y'all just be honest? How many of you fellas right now listening to me have been sleeping with your woman on a mattress that she was sleeping with other dudes on? Oh, can I say it like it is? How many of you fellas right now been sleeping with your chick for 2 and 3 and 5 years on a mattress that she been doing other dudes on? You sitting here sleeping in the indenture, in the dent in the mattress that some other dude's been making. How many of y'all been doing that? Oh, it's a whole bunch of fellas laughing right now because they're like, damn, Jason, did you have to do that? Oh, I got to do it. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. How many of you fellas right now been sleeping on pillows that her ex-boyfriend, her ex-husband been on? And you was like, well, we can save some money. If we keep this, we can save some money. All right. Oh, I'm calling it out. Oh, I'm calling it out. I got some of y'all tonight, you ain't gonna look at your bed the same damn way again. You ain't gonna look at it the same way again. It's a whole bunch of females right now laughing because they know they done that's where she lays her dudes at. She lays her dudes on that mattress. That's what she do. That's what she do. All right, somebody in the chat room was at least honest, like, yes, I did. Okay, I ain't here to shame you. I'm not here to shame you. This is the business. I'm not here to shame you. Let the truth be told. Let the truth be told. You know you done did it. So, fellas, if you want to get that old nigga stench off of you, if you're tired of rolling in the bed and feeling that indenture from where the old dude was at, she ain't even got the mattress with the good memory foam topper. But if you want to get that old nigga dent out the mattress, do yourself a favor and go buy a new one for this reason. Oh, I'm dropping game. For this reason. Because you want to have something in that place where you tell your woman this is something you use every day. I didn't say every day, I said every day. I'm from Louisiana. You want something in there that she uses every day. You see, you are essential when you provide the things a person uses every day. When she gets ready to go to bed, she thinks about hopping on that mattress and just sinking into it as it massages and takes all the stress away. And just understand that is something you have provided. Ain't no class clown stuff here. So make sure that you understand it ain't gonna be no pulling rank. The very bed you lay your head on, the very floors you walk on, the very stove you use, the very table that you eat at, those things were provided by my hand. Understand that, fellas. This ain't no bull jive ass quote respect. This is the real damn deal. This is the real damn deal. In the chat room, Ahmed will be required to call up here in a little bit. So my mods, make sure you keep track of these folks here. They'll be required to call up in just a couple of moments. I'm getting ready to open the phone lines here. But fellas, understand. You see, You need to have concrete things. When she lays down on the bed on which you provided, she can want to back talk all she want to. Tell her you can back talk when you take the damn mattress back is what you can do. But you gonna need to go buy a new one because I threw out the old ones. So you gonna need to buy a new one. Oh, we don't play no games over here. Your last mattress set cost $800. This one costs 3 G's. You can get a new mattress, but it's gonna be a new used one. So you can smell some other woman on if you replace this, you'll be smelling some other woman. Let us be very, very clear. Men, listen to me right now. These are things that you need to be prepared to do so that you can make sure ain't no trump cards. Ain't no trump card, baby. This ain't no broke nigga talk. You're not gonna talk to me like any of them. You can't afford to back talk. This is the way we gonna do it. I just gave you something simple. I just gave you something simple. We can go down the list. The nicest pair of shoes your woman got. When she puts the shoes on her very feet. Like, oh, where the hell you going? You wearing them damn Asics. And those, I forget the damn shoes they used to make. They were made for jogging or whatever. The nicest pair of shoes your woman got? Oh, no. You need to make it very clear to her. Yeah, that's where you get it at. That's where you get it at. See, fellas, this is how you separate yourself. It's not about tricking. It's about making it clear. See, some of you guys understand where this is coming from. Because the last time you heard a man say something like that was your daddy, for those who know your daddy. Not New Balance. New Balance is close. It was the other one. It wasn't New Balance. It wasn't New Balance. It wasn't Brooks. Folk in the chat room. Not New Balance. Wasn't Brooks. It was another one. Anyway, don't worry about it. It ain't that crucial. But you all get the point. They were the first ones that were made with like that special liner in them. Not the memory foam, but the other one. Anyway, to be totally honest though, just understand something. As people, the last time you heard a man talk like that was your daddy. That was the last time you heard a man sit down and say that was your daddy. That was it. You didn't hear anybody else talk that way. So now that you're grown people, you haven't made that connection. That now that you're a grown man, you need to be clear at exactly what you're going to be doing. You need to be clear at exactly what it is it's going to be. Because that's the problem. The problem is right now that you all are not used to a man walking into a home and walking into a place and sounding like the man. Not a man, but sounding like the man. The man. That's what you're not used to. And the reason why I want you to understand that is because as males today, a lot of y'all are trying to get by on class clown behavior. You're trying to get respect as the class clown. You're trying to get respect on class clown grounds, and it ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen, and it's frustrating you, and it's making you angry, and it's making you lash out and complain like you used to seeing your mama do. That's what it's making you do. To the ADHD kids, we're off of shoes already. Some of y'all are already showing you're trying to do your class clown interpretation. No, we're not doing the class clown interpretation. No, we're not. As a man, what you need to understand is that the reason this is important for a woman to avoid average, to avoid the class clown, why you get punished for that, is because women don't know how to make it to a 1%er life. Can I just go ahead and drop the reel on you about that? Women don't understand. They don't know how to make it to a 1%er life. She is depending on a man to do that. A woman don't know how to make it to a S class without piling up tons and tons of debt. See, she's going to be looking on a man to be the workhorse. That's what she's going to be looking for. She's going to be looking for a man to be the rainmaker. She's going to be looking for a man to make that part of the game pop off for her. That's what she's going to be looking for. So she is not going to sit there and expect it. Let me see if I can figure it out. She's going to be looking at you. It's like, okay, let me see. Let him figure that out. Let him get that part of the game. That's the part of the game that she's looking for. She's looking for a man to achieve that. You see, a woman doesn't know the pathway to a BMW 7 Series. She don't know. No, forget all that damn tough talk. She don't know how to get there. She wants it. She don't know. A woman don't know how to get to a pair of red bottoms. She knows the store, but she don't know how to get there without going bankrupt. She don't know. That's not what she's doing. She doesn't know how that part's supposed to happen. She's not aware of how to make that occur. She doesn't know. All she knows is it ain't happening. All she knows is it ain't getting done. She's depending upon a man to take care of that for her. No, not even Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. Not even them. No. Not even them. No. They don't know. They had to perform sexual tricks to get that to happen. They don't know. Even they couldn't figure it out. They had to perform sex tricks with men, and the men figured it out. They didn't get them for themselves, and they still can't get them for themselves. Understand what the game really is. Understand how the game really works. Now, there are some of you who, and I'm just going to say this just like it is, if you're one of these people who believes, if you're one of these males who believes that, quote, the class clowns be winning, you haven't matured out of your middle school stage. You haven't matured out of that. You got maturing to do. That's what you need to do, man. You got maturing to do. You really do. You got growing up to do. If you believe, if the class clown is beating you in life, if you are literally seriously taking L's as a grown man, if you are still literally taking L's to the class clown for a female who's worth a damn, then bruh, the class clown is you. Because let's be clear, a bunch of you guys, as I said, you're failing at manhood, you're failing in adulthood. It ain't working out. It ain't working out. So because you haven't progressed beyond high school, your productivity has not progressed, you're still struggling, you're still taking L's, so you're still getting beat by the class clown, the thugs, the jock, everybody's whooping your ass. So all you can say is, well, the women just want a class clown. As soon as there's no more class clowns, the women just want a thug. As soon as there's no more thugs, the women just want an athlete. As soon as there's no more athletes, the women just want the janitor. Everything for you is about your failure because you're the class clown. You just haven't made peace with it yet. You haven't made peace with the fact, the class clown is you. What I'm going to do here now is I'm going to go ahead and open up the telephone lines. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. Your personal access code to the business. For the people who have been instructed that they need to call in, it is your time to call. If you do not get on the phone, don't be surprised if you are removed. That was not a request. You were instructed to give us a call, and we look forward to making your acquaintance. While I'm doing that here, I want to go ahead and send a special thanks here to everyone who has contributed to tonight's program in the Streamlabs, in the CashApp, and even on YouTube's. Thank you very much for that as well. Darius from Atlanta, get the party started. TBA, what's a pimp? Well, a pimp is a fellow who professionally sets out chicks on the track. We're not discussing pimping here, though. This is the business. So no, anybody involved in that's totally different from what we do. Happy to be nappy. Thank you very much. Daryl Hodge, Cryomancer, back in the building. Thank you very much for that as well. Acumen, thank you very much for that, sir. DM Go Lightly. She is stalking me, but she is also making it worth the while. She D. That's my girl right there. Thank you very much. She's subscribed to my Patreon. New B1 Media is a lifesaver. Thank you very much for that as well. Mrs. B Life, she always comes through for me. M Twice, thank you to everyone else here. And by the way, to everyone here, while I've got your attention right now, I would appreciate it, super appreciate it, if everyone who has contributed here on the YouTube, thank you very much for contributing through the super chat. I appreciate that, but I would really appreciate it if everyone who has contributed to the super chat, if you would take out a couple of minutes, especially if you're going to give $20, $50, $100, please remember YouTube keeps 30% of that. So if you gave $100, thank you, Darius, 30 of those dollars went to YouTube. 30. So if you haven't signed up for the Cash App, that's really convenient because it shows up on my phone, to be totally honest with you, or through PayPal that shows up in my email. So I get to see everyone who does that, but I would really encourage everyone who's contributing to the Streamlabs. I thank you for that. But if you will, take out 30 seconds to set up either a PayPal or a Cash App. I would appreciate that more. And furthermore, you don't know when YouTube is going to cut us off. You don't know because YouTube prioritizes white YouTubers and gay YouTubers. So for those of us who are not white or gay, just understand YouTube buries this channel. They promote everyone else. They actively promote them. But for the rest of you, just understand. If I would really like for us to be able to avoid that. And if the day comes that I ever need to leave YouTube, I don't want all your information just over here with them. So if you would, take a moment here. I know for a lot of y'all, you didn't know. You just figured the super chat was just super chat. And that's great because it shows up on your screen. But please be aware, YouTube keeps 30% of every dollar. They keep 30 cents of every dollar. It's actually 33 cents, but you get it. They keep 33% of everything you give, 1/3. So take a few moments here out. And if you really do appreciate what we do, I appreciate you. Just take a moment here and, go ahead and set up a PayPal or a Cash App while you're listening to me right now, by the way. If you're listening to me right now, hey, we're here, we're talking, we're chopping it up. Take out just a couple of moments to go ahead and set that up. It takes just a minute to set it up. Go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and talk to caller from area code 469. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm from Dallas.
John from Dallas, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I really do appreciate you doing this because a major pet peeve that I've had is, I'm all about solutions. And I'm saying, if you're not happy where you're at, then, in the words of Sun Tzu from The Art of War, you always seek to improve your position. It's like me. I'm an engineer, and I wasn't happy, so now I'm transitioning into medicine to be a physician. That's going to take some time, and I'm fine with that. What I'm sick of hearing, though, is a lot of these men just whining like hoes because they're not getting cooperation from the women that they want. They're not getting the chances that they want to get. They just want to sit around and just complain. And it's like, okay, what good does that do? And I never get a straight answer. I just get a bunch of babble.
Well, that's because that's what they spent their lives learning. You got to understand. That's what they spent their lives learning. So that's what I mean. They've made it into the world, and this is the currency with which they're using. That's the currency that they're using. That's the best they can do at this point. They're not going to progress beyond it. They haven't progressed beyond it. They're not going anywhere. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Oh, well, this afternoon. I'm so used to saying tonight. Let me get caller from area code 504. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Michael, New Orleans.
Michael from New Orleans. What's on your mind?
Michael, New Orleans. Yeah, Jason, say, bro, most of these young girls be nappy head, broke bitches anyway, so, emphasize, grown, black, mature women, when you talk about topics.
Okay, brother, if I have to say that to you, you're too much of a bum nigga for me to say it for, brother. I mean, if most of the women you meet are nappy headed and whatnot, dude, team reflects leadership. So if that's what you're attracting and that's most of what you're meeting, brother, that's because of you. I want you to be clear about this. Team reflects leadership. So if that's what you're consistently running into to the point that you think it's a problem that it needs to be distinguished, and I understand you're from New Orleans, but if we have to, brother, this is a personal issue, man. I'm just going to be straight up honest with you, brother. This is a personal issue. Team reflects leadership. Raggedy niggas attract raggedy females. Okay, brother, raggedy dudes attract raggedy females. That's the rule, okay? No debate, no follow-up. Okay, if you're calling me up to point that out, that is your life. So you need to hold this L and own it.
I'm not gonna do that.
Okay, well, if you don't hold it, I'm gonna tattoo it on you. But you called me up to point out something that wasn't even worth saying. So what it tells me is your life is struggling and bummy, dude. You got to step your game up, bro. No, we're not having them problems. Life is dirty and bummy for you to the point. But Jason, most of these chicks out here is nappy. I don't know none of them, but it's enough of a problem. I need to call you. No, bro, it's time for you to take off them torn up old Asics you've been wearing and whatnot and put the joint down, and go take a bath so that you can get a female who ain't at that level. You feel me?
Jason, you got me fucked up, though. But look, let me ask you this, though. What percentage of black females out there you think right now make more than $60,000 or $70,000 a year?
Okay, here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with that question, my bummy unemployed friend. I don't care how much money a woman makes. You're the one focusing on how much why do you care what a woman makes unless you're financially going to depend on her?
I mean, I'm not going to depend on her for nothing.
Then why do you care whether she makes $30,000 or $30 million? Why is that a factor to you, sir?
Because you constantly put the burden on the men. But you will never ask them hoes what y'all bringing to the table.
Sir, this is a concept you don't understand. A man's not supposed to ask a woman what she brings to the table. You're supposed to be the table. When you walk up to a dinner table, a table at a restaurant, Nobody has to explain to you, or at least for some of you ADHD people, it might need to be explained. When you walk up to a table, no one's supposed to have to explain to you what it's for. If you walk into a casino and you walk up to a table, if someone has to explain to you that gambling, this is a table for gambling, you shouldn't be there. And you're certainly not the table. If you walk into a restaurant and they walk you up to a table, and if I have to explain to you that food is served here, you don't belong at the restaurant, sir. So this is all a hypothetical exercise for you, not one you actually engage in. You're supposed to be the table. And if a female is not supposed to approach you unless she's ready to come to the table. But here's the problem. When a male is operating at a female level, he asks questions like, well, what does she bring to the table? Because neither of you is the table. And that means you're not a man yet, because you're not the table. So you get approached by everything except something productive and worthwhile. Yeah, you get all the dregs of female society because both of y'all are in the same boat. So you speak the same language. That's the difference. That's you.
I'm gonna meditate on.
That's you.
Jason, I'm going to meditate on what you just said. And
okay.
I'm hearing you, but
here's what I want you to do.
Pity on way out
just
here,
hang up the phone and just soak up the business, okay, bro? Hang it up.
All right.
Soak
All
up
right.
the business.
All
All right. Look, as I said, if you're not ready for manhood, now look, I know a lot of y'all been listening to the posers, the red pill push-offs and the MGTOW morons and the manosphere minions. I know y'all have been listening to them and they never educated you. They never gamed you up. You're just as confused now as the day when you walked in there. I get it. A lot of you have been consuming stuff. These guys have half-baked philosophies. They took several of the things I said, but they don't know how to flesh them out because they ain't living that. Let me just say one thing. I've been around the country since I was 19. It ain't my first trip out of town. I certainly have never taken a trip out of town that I thought was necessitated me telling the world. It ain't traveling the country and the world ain't new to me. Oh yeah, you'll never hear me name drop a restaurant without telling you what the inside of it looks like. Anybody can walk past a restaurant and pretend they've been there. I tell y'all details. So if y'all have been listening to literally any of these other folk, they've never done it. They haven't done it. They're not on their way to doing it. They got a bunch of y'all screwed up and messed up out here. They're not on their way. Let's just be very clear. So there's a lot of folks out here, yes, I'll say names, Kevin Samuels, Richard Cooper, Rollo Tomasi, all the rest of them. I mean, if you want me to say names, I will. I don't want my chat room breaking down into a crap show, but if you want me to say names, sure, I will. But let's just be very, very clear about that. There's a whole big difference between these guys who are trying to figure out what the game is, how to deal with women. They're still figuring it out to the point that they are updating what they said. And by the way, I've actually put together a reel of things where these guys, what they said 4 and 5 months ago versus what I said. And then when I said it 3 months ago, I can show you where they changed over the last 5 months. Them cats don't really want me doing this, but yeah, all of them are updating their flawed, broken, corrupted philosophies to try to update for what we've given them. So just understand that. No, I'm not hating on anybody. I'm explaining that these guys are confusing people because they're wrong. They're wrong. Just understand that. They're wrong. They all got it from me and then they tried to put a twist on it and couldn't figure it out. No. That's why dudes like that call me up, because he's been listening to the failures and the dudes who don't really know. Now they're calling me and like, well, hell, Jason, yours actually works. Well, yeah, it does work. But these other guys don't understand it because they don't live it. They don't live it. They don't. Oh, yeah, one more word of caution. If anybody tells you that they went shopping somewhere, you should ask them for the receipt. If they say they went shopping and they can't show it to you, ask them for the receipt before you let somebody convince you that they're operating at a level that they're not. Just tell them, by the way, brother, since you went shopping there, can you post the receipt for us all? Because I can tell you all what a receipt from Prada looks like. And it's not that little strip that you get from Walmart. I can tell you what a receipt from Prada looks like, and that ain't what you get when you shop there. Caller from area code 336. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from? Last try. Caller from area code 336. You're on live with The Business. Okay, 336 got scared and dropped off. Oh, and one more thing. Even if you're a Canadian, when you're driving a 2011 Audi R8 rather, when you're driving a 2011 Audi R8, you shouldn't be trying to brag to people, my dude. Alt-right tendencies and whatever else you got. Let me just tell you something, because you're not that rich. By the way, Mr. Canadian, when you're driving a 2011 Audi R8, just understand there are whole YouTube channels dedicated to folks grabbing junker Audi R8s, grabbing repossessed Audi R8s, flooded Audi R8s. And by the way, you only had the thing now for 2 years, which means it was damn near a decade old, right at a decade old when you bought it. So for all the dudes who don't know, go check out the prices for a 2011 Audi R8. Because some of these folks out here, they got some of you young dudes who are not very accomplished. Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah, it is. Yes, there is. You're learning some things. You're learning some things. I ain't got to name no names. None of these dudes are doing this. None of them. None of them. None. These are posers on the internet. Sitting up here trying to get paid for entertaining. I'm the one sitting here telling y'all what the real is. No, these guys, look, I could have done this months ago. I didn't do that. I could have read these dudes months ago. I didn't do it. But I just want you to be aware. I just want you to be aware that these are guys trying to pretend like they've got accomplishments that they really don't have. No, I didn't say he's broke, but what I am saying is these dudes ain't balling like that. These dudes ain't pulling like that. Don't let anybody fool you. They're sitting up here making payments every damn month, but they ain't holding like that. They ain't holding like that. So when y'all listen to Rolo and the rest of these folk here, just understand, no, they're trying to convince you. They get these things as a centerpiece and then that's it. No, the R8 does not hold its value. Stop it. Just knock it off. Quit. They have begun appreciating in value over the last 2 or 3 years because all these internet posers have been going around buying up 10 and 12-year-old cars, just like the Bentley Continental. A whole bunch of them have been doing that. That's what they've been doing. In the chat room, Robert Campbell. I want my mods to get Robert Campbell's information. Robert's going to give us a call up. Now. So I want my mods to get Robert's information. Robert Campbell, you're going to be next. Let me get caller from area code 904. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yes, hello, Jason Black. My name is Joseph from Jacksonville. I'm one of your business partners and on the Patreon.
All right, Black First Brother, what's on your mind?
Questions, please. Yeah, so the question I had was I was kind of confused. You had me call. I called in probably about 6 months ago, and you told me, gave me some great advice and stuff. But then I've been listening over the months to what you've been saying, and I'm kind of confused about if I'm really an average guy, or am I really living up to my potential as far as income wise and stuff. And I have my own business on AC work and stuff, but I think I put myself at 65 that I pocketed, but I had to do my things with my business and stuff. But I pocketed 65 for me, and I'm on pace to make 80 this year.
Okay.
But I'm not really sure if I'm not really sure if I'm just one of these average guys out here.
Okay? Here's the thing. Okay. Here's the thing. Right now you're building. Okay. Because what you're telling me is that you're working with exactly what I said. The goal, as far as I'm concerned, your goal, and for any business, your goal should be a trajectory to double your income. And you should technically try to hit that every 24 to 36 months. That your income doubles. Okay. Now, understand what double means. What that means is from year one, let's just say you're making $50,000 a year, okay? By year 3, your stretch goal should be $100,000 by year 3. By year 6, your goal is supposed to be $200,000. See how that worked? Okay. So just understand you're in your building phase right now. And I think that Amazon is a perfect example of how to do it. Okay. Right now you are investing in you. The money is getting sunk into the business, which is what you're supposed to do. Okay. No vacations, no slacking. You're building this thing from the ground up. Right now you're laying the foundation. So don't focus so much on the income. Yeah, don't focus so much on the income. Okay, brother, if you don't talk, let me know. You called me, so let me know. Go ahead. Okay. Right now, you're in a building phase. Your priority is supposed to be sinking your money into the business. Just like Amazon. Amazon doesn't give dividends. Why? Because they invest all the money into the business. For 20 years, they didn't make a profit. Why? Because they took every spare dollar and put it back into the business. The fulfillment centers, Amazon Prime, Amazon TV, Amazon Web Services, SpaceX. Or is that Blue Origin? Yeah, SpaceX is Elon Musk. Blue Origin is Amazon. So right now, that's what you're supposed to be doing. So yes, it's gonna feel kind of lean because the money ain't going in your pocket to buy shoes, bro. It's going into investing in the business, which is your future. So yes, it just feels some kind of way. But this is sacrifice. The difference between you and the ordinary guy is that his money would not be showing up in the bank because his money's on his feet. His money's on his back. His money's in his driveway. You see, liabilities are visible things. Liabilities are very visible. Assets are, in the modern era, assets are invisible. The person who has the most assets are invisible. That's why most people, especially black folk, don't value them because assets can't really be seen. So what you're doing, at least you're supposed to be doing, is investing in yourself, turning yourself into an asset and what you have into an asset. That's what you're supposed to be doing. So worry less about the status part of it, okay? The next 5 years, how old are you now?
I'm 39.
Okay,
I'm going to turn 40 in November.
The next 5 years are supposed to be grinding and pulling. And you're supposed to be doing what I said. At the end of the next 2 years, that income needs to be doubled. And then, that's why I said 5 years. In the next 2 years, you need to be doubled. And then 3 years after that, when you hit 44, it's supposed to be doubled again. Okay. And you will be well on your way.
No problem.
But don't worry. But let me explain to you. I didn't like the way you called in. Let me explain to you why. Because you're talking about feelings. Okay? And this is what I need for you to do right now. Get out of your feelings. You ain't supposed to be feeling nothing. Every day you get up, dude, you supposed to be mind on my money on my mind. I'm about the business. I'm not worried about status. I'm not worried about females. I'm not worried about none of that, bro. You done did all that. Right now, this is where black males tend to fail. When we get into that critical 30s area of life, we ain't focused on retiring. We just getting serious about our money, and we're focusing on what we feel, and we watching other people drive around and what they driving and what they wearing and who they with. We can't do that. We keep taking our eye off the ball. Right now, you need to have no feelings whatsoever. You're not supposed to be looking at the Joneses. You ain't trying to keep up with the Joneses. You're trying to keep up with the Gateses. And right now, you're doing the investment to do that. But not about what you feel and do I have the status, am I average? The fact that you are exercising your capability. I explained this at the beginning of today's program. You need to go back and listen to it again. You're not exercising potential, you're exercising capability. Now, how well it pays off is going to depend on you, but right now, bro, you got to be focused on it. Now, what you said is you went from 50 to 80, correct?
Yes, it was 50 when I had got the divorce, and this year's been very good.
Okay.
And now I'm at 80, and then I still have 2 months. No, I'm at 65 right now, and I have 2 more months to go, and I should reach 80. Okay. That's what I'm going to pocket for myself, not including the business.
You're heading in the right direction.
As far as that count.
There you go. You're heading in the right direction. The only thing right now, bro, is don't think about nothing else. Don't think about the world. Don't think about their opinion of you. Close all of that out of your mind, including any artificial expectations or requirements that you're putting on yourself. Clear that out of your head. The only thing that matters is your bank statement. That is it. The bank statement is the final report card. If the bank statement says we're on track, we're on track. Now, what this also tells me is you don't have a CPA.
Oh, yes, I do.
Then you haven't talked to him nearly enough.
She told me I'm doing quite well and stuff. And then, but I was comparing it to some of the things that you were saying about average guys standing still, because you told me the last advice you gave me was you wanted me to go to more vacations, because I told her, you told me it was the last vacation I ever took. I told you 5 years ago, and you recommended that I start taking more vacations, and I've done 5 since the time we talked about.
Okay, now was this
one, but I took 5 of them.
Was this in reference to you, or was this in reference to a woman?
Well, I had called you about feeling not bitter because I just was newly divorced, and then I said, "How can I stop from being bitter?"
Right. Okay. We were discussing something totally different. So I wanted you to get your head out of that space. Was what I wanted you to do. I wanted you to get your head out of that space. You've been pressured up under taking care of her for so long that you fell off your game and lost track of who you are as an individual. Which is what's supposed to happen when you get married. But now, if you ain't going to be married anymore, you need to start rediscovering yourself as an individual. So, yes, you can take a little bit of time to do that. Get it out your system. Okay, looks like you done did that, which is good. Because now, bro, you got to get back to grinding. Everything's sounding good here. I don't want you to spend... I didn't say take a vacation for the rest of your life. But certainly as far as recalibrating yourself, you got to step back from it. Take some time back from it and recalibrate it and reinvent yourself and come back as somebody new. So, yes, you definitely do want to take some time to step away, in your situation. But that I didn't mean stay on. I thought that was clear, but you ain't going to go on a lifelong vacation. You're not retiring. But get that together and stuff like that. If you need some therapy, do that as well. But right now, if we're laying down the business, because life goes on, man. The clock is still ticking, whether you're ready or not. Now, let's just be very clear. With someone like me, I don't have a vacation. I don't. All my girlfriends have always complained about that because they're like, okay, if he goes somewhere, he's taking his work with him. I'm not going to suggest everybody live like that. I'm just going to say if you're going to ever make any real money, you'll have to. But just understand, if you're getting out of a marriage and stuff like that, okay, you need some time to decompress, get yourself together, but you can't take the rest of your life for it. At some point, you got to get back up and say, okay, this is what it's going to be. And you're going to, because these issues are not going to go away completely anytime quickly. You're going to have to get to a place where you're functional, okay? Because it's like being a fighter. I mean, Mike Tyson, Sugar Ray Leonard, all of them had issues they were dealing with when they were getting in the ring. All of them. And that's life, man. That's life. It'd be nice going on vacation for the rest of your life, okay? But you got to get to a point where you can function, okay? Once you get to that point, then we just keep it moving. Because the real thing is you got to get back up as quickly as you can. You got to get back up as quickly as you can. Right now, everything's fine. You asked me a status question. Don't worry about that. Do you notice me and your CPA are saying the same thing? We're looking at your numbers. Okay, you're going to get another female if your numbers stay straight. Hell, you probably have a couple of them. You might not want to get married again. Keep your paper straight, okay? Keep your paper straight. Keep your paper straight so that your esteem comes from you. Because you need to be a man, whether you're making $50,000 a year or $100,000, but you need to be a builder no matter what. Okay?
So,
That's what you need to focus
so
on. Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Don't worry about artificial titles on yourselves. Don't worry about that. That's not what you need. That's not what you need. Don't worry about artificial titles on yourself. Let me get caller from area code 626. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from? Caller from area code 626. Last try. You're on live. Caller from 626 has been abducted. In my chat room, my mods, where are the people I told to give me a call? I ain't fooling around. The folk I said to give a call, they need to be on the line. They need to have their area codes in the chat room so we can go ahead and get them up here. They had so much to say before now. You need to keep that same energy. Caller from area code 323. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Monique, calling from
Okay,
Long Beach,
Monique,
California.
Monique, I don't know if you're on speakerphone, Bluetooth, or sitting in the bathroom, baby. Get it off the speaker, get it off of Bluetooth, talk right into the telephone. If you're sitting
Okay,
in the
I'm off
John,
the
let me give you a
speaker.
few minutes to get your life together.
Okay, my life is together.
All right, Monique, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Long Beach, California.
Monique from Long Beach, what's on your mind?
What's on my mind, Jason, is I have this really nice guy. He's an electrical engineer. Only problem is that his breath is a turnoff. And I need to know the right way to tell him to get that mouth in order.
Okay. Let me get this straight, Monique. You are dating a gentleman, and everything else is okay, except you believe that he has an issue with halitosis. Is that about right?
Possible, yes.
Okay. No, she doesn't know what halitosis is. Halitosis kind of really was a fictional thing that
No,
was
I
made
know
to
what
sell.
halitosis is.
Okay. It was a fictional one, I think, made to sell toothpaste, and then it got adopted as a real thing. But in any case, what you're saying is he got dragon breath. You got yuck mouth. It's rough on intimacy. Intimacy. You don't look forward to kissing this man, is what you're saying.
That's correct.
No, right. He's probably a big kisser too, ain't he?
Yes, he's very compassionate.
Okay. Well.
And I find myself like pulling away from him when he
All right.
goes into that compassion mode.
Monique, may I ask how old is this gentleman?
He is 61.
Wow, he's been running around for a while. Does he drink? Does he smoke?
No drugs, no alcohol.
Okay. Well, Monique, these are things really that his parents should have taken care of here, but I require a little more information before I can effectively deal with this, okay?
Okay.
All right, Monique, are you and I friends on Facebook or Instagram? On Facebook, I imagine.
No.
Okay.
No,
Monique,
I'm sorry.
I would
don't
just.
have time for that.
That's okay, Monique. I just need you to send me a link to your to email me a link to your Facebook or your Instagram. That's what I would need. Okay.
Okay, well, that's not going to happen because I don't have Facebook nor Instagram.
Okay, Monique, I would just need you to email me a selfie of yourself.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay, while we're waiting right now, you can do that. My email address is handlethebusiness@yahoo.com. I'll repeat that again. My email address is handlethebusiness@yahoo.com. You can take a selfie of yourself right now. What I usually ask people to do is to make a peace sign with your left hand, not your right. Make a peace sign with your left hand, and you can just email that to me here.
Okay.
And while you're doing that, let me find out here, how long have you known this gentleman?
For 4 years.
Okay, and have things been going okay in the last 4 years otherwise?
Yes.
Okay. How did you meet this gentleman?
I met him on a dating site.
Okay, well, she didn't meet him sight unseen, but she did meet him breath unseen. So that can be one of the hazards here. He was able to get snuck up on you, is what he did. He snuck up on you. It's rough to be Monique. And how old is Monique?
Monique is 37.
Monique is 37 and her beau is 61. Did I get that right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Monique is 37 and the dude is old enough to be granddaddy. Okay. Well, Monique said, hell, she's probably taking our advice to heart. How many kids you got, Monique?
I have no children.
None at all?
None.
Okay, well, how in the world did you get hooked up with Rufus? Why were you chasing Rufus then? I don't understand. How did you and Morgan Freeman start dating? Is what I'm trying to find out.
I don't participate in dust storms. I can see them coming.
Okay, I'm just saying you and Morgan Freeman got together and everything. So I'm just asking, have you two like gone out or gotten out in public? Just be honest. Are you the chick he takes out in public, or are you just like he just kind of take care of you?
No, we go out in public. He takes me shopping. He buys me very expensive items.
I imagine.
And I find myself, like kissing him on the cheek to say thank you.
Okay.
And I'm just like, oh God, this man's breath is horrible. How do I tell him? So I asked the men in my family, and they were like, well, just do subtle suggestions, and I've done that. And it's not working.
No. That's not gonna work. Period. That's not gonna work. Now, Monique, I'm still waiting for that picture to come through, baby. So you stalling? Let's get to it.
I'm not stalling. I have to get on my computer.
Get on your computer.
You
can't send it from your phone, baby.
Because I can't hear you.
By the way,
I can't hear you.
She sounds about as old as Rufus does too. By the way, so I mean, you sure you're 37, baby? You sound like you about 57. So I ain't shading you or nothing. I'm just saying. So when you and Fred Sanford started going out, was it a situation? Was he already married?
He was married
when you met him.
And he had
no. Was he married when you met him?
Oh. No.
Okay. No. All right. She had to stumble there for a minute, but okay, he wasn't married. All right. Was he actually divorced, or was he separated on his way to divorce?
He was already separated.
Okay. All right. I'm side-eyeing you, right?
Okay, that's quite all right.
Okay, I'm gonna need to check.
I don't do marry.
That's what they all say. But baby got bills to pay. You living in Long Beach. Remember what I told fellas?
I pay my bills.
Remember what if you don't stop. Remember what I told you, fellas? A woman isn't gonna give herself a 1%er life. She is not trying to buy the mattress. She's not trying to buy the shoes. She's not trying to buy the car. If she has the option of a broke dude with nice breath and a young broke fella with nice breath and grandpa with dragon breath but his paper straight, you can see where she at, don't you? She's trying to figure out how to make grandpa work. She ain't trying to line up some broke dude and see if she can get that to work. No, she's not trying to do that one. Did you, fellas, are you noticing? She's on the phone. Jason, how I make this work? Most of you niggas, when the chick left, she didn't tell you nothing. She's on my phone. Well, I'm trying to figure out how to make it work, Jason. Can we do that? I know he got
Oh my goodness.
he got me sleeping wearing a CPAP machine, but I'm trying to figure out how we can handle this, Jason. Is there? I ain't trying to give up these red bottoms, is what I'm trying to tell you, okay? This the first nigga got me a Gucci. I ain't trying to lose it. So what have I got to do to make this work?
Jason, I have to call you back. I have to call you back, but I will send my picture.
No, you ain't calling it
Oh,
damn. No, Monique. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. No, this is looking bad, Monique. Baby, what size do you wear?
Yes.
What size do you wear, Monique?
What size do I
What
wear?
size do you wear?
Right now, I'm a size like 10. I used to be a 14, but it was a 6.
No, she's a size 10 who isn't able to send me a selfie. Let's be very clear. A 37-year-old in the 21st century, baby, the iPhone been around for over a decade now. You can send
I don't
me.
have an iPhone.
My point is the ability to take pictures from your cell phone has been around for over a decade. If you're 37 years old in the 21st century, you can send me a picture of yourself right now. You can do that.
Okay,
If you aren't, it's because you a size 16 and you trying to figure out what can a size 16 get. A size 16, if she wants some red bottoms and a purse, a size 16 can get a 61-year-old divorcee with 2 kids and yuck mouth. That's what she can get.
You are clowning.
Let's just be very, very clear. Let's just be very clear about that. When they start talking like that, because let's be clear, baby, you supposed to have, there's nothing to stop you acting like all of a sudden you don't know how to use a cell phone. Let me get to my computer. I gotta call you back. No, baby, I want to see why dude don't feel like he needs to hit the Colgate in the morning. That's what I want to see. 61 years old, grandpa's will be on top of the hygiene unless he got a chick who ain't got no leverage. Now, if he's dealing with a broad who ain't got no leverage, Jason, did you say a broad? If he's dealing with a broad who ain't got no leverage, she gonna have to deal with y'all know the old men who got the teeth so far apart you could like slip your fingers up in between each one. Like this dude can floss his teeth with an inner tube. Y'all know them fellas? Yeah. Okay.
That is a hot bird.
You might have one of them. So I'm just trying to make sure here, okay? I just want to make sure.
Handle the business. At Yahoo. .com. Okay. Okay.
All right, I'll be waiting on that for all you young tenders out there who you lucked up at the senior citizens home and you found one of them stragglers out there. And it's like, okay, with Jason, he got breath like Beetlejuice. Okay, I understand that. Let me see what your prospects are first before I sit up here and tell you can get something you can't get. Because she knows what time it is. Now, let me find out here, where is he originally from?
He's originally from San Bernardino.
Okay, well, that's kind of a rough hood there.
Yes, it is.
All right, well, beggars can't be choosers, baby.
What
What does he do for a living?
He can't.
What does he do for a living?
He's an electrical engineer.
He's an engineer?
Yes.
Okay.
Electrical.
All right. This might be the last train leaving for you, baby. 37 years old,
Probably.
37 years old, no kids, California. He ain't gay. At least he ain't too gay. This might be the last train
No,
leaving.
I'm not gay at all.
This might be the last train leaving. I'm talking about him, not you. Please fall back. I'm talking about him, not you. So in California, black. Is he black?
Yeah.
Okay, California, black male. Have you ever been married?
Yes.
Okay, but are you divorced now? Legally divorced?
No. Well, I am divorced.
Whoa, oh, no. Are you legally divorced?
Widowed.
Okay, you're not married anymore. You're widowed.
Right.
Okay, you killed the man? All right.
No, I did not.
Well, I'm not going to make jokes about it. I haven't received anything from you yet either, so if I don't receive something here in a few moments, I'm just going to resort to extreme jokes. I'm just letting you know. Okay?
Well, I did.
Okay, let's be clear. We're not going to play that. Email works. All right? Are you a member of my Patreon?
No, I'm not.
Okay, because right now what's happening here is we going a long damn time. Handle the business at yahoo.com. We're going quite a while here, and I haven't received anything from you yet. So, all joking to the side now, it's starting to look like, don't really look at me and whatnot, because look, baby, let me just be straight with you. If you're a strong 4, you know you are. Now, if you're a strong 4, I'm going to tell you, buy some Tic Tacs and some of them breath savers and do the best you can. That's what I'm going to tell you. In the 21st century, if you're a strong 4, and I'm not joking right now, in the 21st century, you're a strong 4, you know you are, and the very fact you call me means you know your options are limited. So, I'm not going to sit up here and go around and round about this all day. I got other people waiting, but be that as it may, you know full well if it ain't working. You know full well if you had the ability to pull something better. 37 years old running around with somebody's grandfather, you know what's going on. You know the deal. So, I'm just going to say, I haven't received anything yet. Now, sometimes that does happen. It's rare. Sometimes it does happen. Are you sending something from a Yahoo email address?
Yes.
Okay. If it's coming from a Yahoo email address to a Yahoo email address, that really shouldn't be a problem. It really shouldn't be.
Okay.
She says she claims she doesn't have any other way to send anything. Now, here's the problem. Even if you do send me something, I should eventually get it. But I haven't gotten anything yet. But long story short here, how tall are you?
I'm 5'4".
Okay. How much do you weigh?
I weigh 100. Right now, I weigh 125 pounds.
She had to make that number up real quick. I weigh 125 pounds. She was trying to see if that was good enough.
I did not make it up.
Okay, let me ask something here. How are you 125 pounds at size 10? 5'4", size 10, 125 pounds. That ain't right. Mm-hmm. At 5'4", at 5'4", you should be somewhere closer to a size 6.
According to my last physical,
with that type of weight?
Yeah. But it's mostly, well, I don't say that.
Yeah, because I'm at 120 pounds. There's not really enough for you to make it up to size 10. So what I'm saying is, if you at size 10, you're guessing about something. That was why I asked what you wear. Because if I ask you your weight, that's one thing. Let me find out what the size is you wear. And one of these are not correlating. Size 10 and 120 pounds, 125 pounds, that ain't right. At 5'4". Now, if you were 4'8", if you were 4'8", maybe. 5'4", no, that's not right.
I'm a stacked woman.
I don't give a damn how stacked you are, baby. Your waist is your waist. At 5'4", your waist is your waist. So unless you mean you stacked around the navel, unless that's what you're saying. Now, if you're saying that you got a muffin bottom, okay, well, but even still, that's not gonna make sense. So that It kind of explains why I haven't gotten a picture of you yet, though. All joking to the side. All joke. She claims she doesn't have a social media, which is a damn lie. Everybody has a social media today. She claims she doesn't have an Instagram. Another damn lie. True. Every black female on earth got one. Then she claims she doesn't know how to use her cell. Ma'am, you claim you don't know how to use it. She has a cell phone. What type of cell phone do you have, Monique?
I have a Boost Mobile.
Monique, hang up the phone.
I have a Boost Mobile.
Monique, just hang up the phone, baby.
Okay.
Day's over. I'm punching your clock out. Day's over. This woman just told me she got a Boost Mobile. All right. Bottom line is, what she needs to do is invest in KN95 masks. She needs to keep some Tic Tacs, some Breath Savers, and some Jolly Ranchers on deck. What she needs to do is she needs to grind up some peppermints and put it in his dinner, is what she needs to do. She needs to get some peppermints, some breath mints, grind them up, mix them in with his dinner. That's what she needs to do. But this is the best she can get. Monique, you want to know this is the best you can do. And the very fact that you're sitting up here hiding all this and complaining, baby, you know what the deal is. Caller from area code 817. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
It's Ramon from Fort Worth, Texas.
Ramon from Fort Worth. What's on your mind?
Hey, I wrote you on Patreon yesterday. I'm a postal carrier, and I was just telling you about starting a business. Well, I started my business in April. It's a landscaping business, and I wanted to go full time with it, and I just wanted some advice.
Technically speaking, when a business is making 2 to 3 times the salary that you were making at your job, because at that point you have the ability to pay 2 or 3 other people to work for you. Technically, when that occurs, then it's really time to leave your job and do your business full time. Long story short, that's basic rule of thumb. Long story short.
Okay. So even if I'm working like the business solo.
Even if you're working the business solo, yes. You don't want to leave a job to go to another job, because you might, if you bought yourself a job, that's too unstable. If it's really going to be a business, it really needs to make enough to feed 2 or 3 people, even if you're the sole employee.
Okay, got you. So then what would you suggest? Like basically save up and then start working full time for myself?
I mean, you definitely want to invest in the business, yes. You definitely want to do that. Now, if it's not paying you enough to do that, that's a different matter. But if it is paying, if you have enough to be able to double your income at the business, like I told the previous caller, within 2 to 3 years, if you can double your income at it, then yeah, this is something viable, and we need to start easing away from your job. Now, if you cannot do that, you may have just found a little side hustle. Recognize the difference between a side hustle and a business. A business has scalability. A hustle is not scalable.
Okay. Got you.
Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Once again, folks, when you're getting it directly from the foundation, when you're getting it from people who actually know, you get answers like that. I'm the only person you all can call and ask questions like that, because I've been there, I've done that, I do that now. I have lawyers and CPAs and people who actually handle these kind of things. I'm not guessing my way through it. Anybody can sit up here and claim that they work for a corporate environment or claim that they know these kind of things. But if y'all ask a simple person who claims to be a long-standing business owner, you ask them simple questions like this and they can't tell you, I need you all to start having standards for the people that you talk to. No shade, because you can't shade a redwood, my nigga. Caller from area code 812. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
You think it's men versus women all the fucking time. You think everything is a fucking gender war. That's what it is. Like, that's the 21st century mindset of the women. That's why women are the way they are right now, and that's why divorce is up over 50%.
Okay, dude, whoever you arguing with, that's not good.
Y'all just, no matter what a nigga.
Yeah, remember when I said the class clown? I was probably talking about that guy. Caller from area code 203, you're on live with The Business. What's your name, where you're calling from? He's back there arguing with his girlfriend or something.
This is Rob from Connecticut. How are you doing?
Rob from Connecticut. Is this the aforementioned Robert Campbell?
No, it's not.
Okay, I guess Robert just ducked out on us. What's on your mind, Rob from Connecticut?
Okay, so I just want you to know I'm a big follower of yours, and I'm a listener. I hear what you're saying, and I'm going to try to give you the Reader's Digest version of what's going on, because you do say a lot of things that are accurate. Matter of fact, you're 95% accurate at the time. And, you know, living up here in Hartford, Connecticut, you run into a lot of baby mamas, a lot of single mothers, which answers the question. And I work in the medical field, and I'm truthful to myself. I'm not competitive, and every day I wake up, I try to do better. You know, I try to listen to you and get some game, and I try to take care of myself physically and mentally. Now, back to today's subject, you know, my father, he was a builder, but the problem is he never built anything for his children. He had his last wife he was with for, I'd say, about 25 to 30 years. They had a home. They had everything. And as soon as she got her weight up, she divorced him, and she left him in a bunch of debt, and she did a lot of underhanded things. And he's chasing lawyers trying to get his money back. And it's kind of like, in one sense, I feel sorry for him, but in another sense, it's kind of like you got what you deserve because you never really took care of your children. So could you elaborate a bit for me?
Well, I mean, I think you just said it all, basically. I mean, people attract folk to themselves like themselves. If you're an underhanded person, you're going to attract other underhanded people because those are the only people who can stand to be around you. Honorable people don't gravitate to dishonorable people. I can tell you right now, throughout my life, anytime I'm in a nigga complaining about child support and he hadn't seen his kids in 3 or 4 months, because some of you hoes kill me with this. Y'all can lay up with a nigga you had a kid with, and 6 months later he hasn't seen his child and y'all still sexing him. I couldn't share a table with a fellow who doesn't see his kids or doesn't take care of them and isn't fiercely about that. So I can just tell you right now, those guys like that who don't produce, don't perform, most of the rest of us ain't gonna have nothing for them. So they're only really going to be able to attract other underhanded individuals like themselves to keep company.
Right. Well, it's crazy because I'm going to be 44 years old in January. I have a sister who's 49. I had a brother who died, and I have a sister who's going to be 12 years old. So you see what kind of man my father is.
Yeah. I mean, just at this point right here, I would advise you at 44, brother, you know, just cut your losses psychologically. He didn't have a lot to contribute in the first place. He doesn't have very much to contribute now. Obviously you don't hold him in very high esteem. And do you all realize how much it takes for your children to not hold you in high esteem today? So if he has not earned that from you, I think that you would be well served not even to waste the psychological energy required to monitor it, because all that tells me is you're not doing enough on your end. You really need to do more on your end. Okay. He's made a junkyard and a scrap yard out of his life, and the only thing he could teach you at this point is how to replicate his formula for failure, and who in the hell wants to do that? So I would recommend that at this point right here, I would be just like, you know, if Pops call, I would just treat him like a telecollector, one of the telemarketers. You know, if he calls, it's just like, you know, I might answer, then again, I might not. You know, if you ask for help, in the words DMX, I ain't got it, so you can't get it. You know, and it's just, you know, if he wants help with something, you got to deal with that.
Yeah, he's an older man now. He's diabetic. You know, he's in and out of hospital. He's got prostate cancer. So I do have kind of a soft spot for him because, you know, I would have figured he would have like you made the statement, he's from South Carolina, so his mentality is, well, I got it from the mud, so my kids got to get it from the mud.
I can't spend a whole bunch of time on this because I got a bunch of callers, but I will tell you at this point right now, I mean, it's your attitude towards him that matters more than anything else. I am far less concerned about the life your father has led and far more concerned about the life you're leading. Do you have any kids?
Right. No children at all.
Okay.
None.
That may be a good thing. Then again, that may not be a good thing. I am going to strongly recommend that you should get counseling for this because this is all very much bothering you. That's very good.
I see a therapist.
Okay, that's good because more than anything else, you need to. There's only so much we can do for him, which is really not a lot. I'm much more concerned about the next generation. I'm much more concerned about what's going to go forward. I'm much more concerned about you fixing the sins of the father rather than grappling with them. But at some point, and as difficult as it may be, at some point, I'm not sure where your mother comes into this because you mentioned your father, but you ain't said nothing about your mom. So
my mother lives in Alabama, and she calls me and begs me for $20. I had to block her number.
Okay, well, you basically you struck out at the crap table. You came up snake eyes on mother and father, but at least you are able to see it. And because here's the bottom line, I tell people this all the time. Folks feel sorry. I really don't feel too sorry for folk in your condition. Let me explain to you why. Not because I'm not a sympathetic person, but because it doesn't really matter. I mean, not in the long run, because it doesn't matter how great your parents were. There's always going to be something missing. They can only do so much for you. Your life is your life. It's not going to be theirs. Even under the best of circumstances, there are going to be things that you have to pick up and take care of on your own, even under the best of circumstances. So we need to come to reality that your parents can only do so much. They might do a not so great job. They might do a great job, but there are going to be gaps you gotta fill in. Now, your gaps might be bigger than somebody else's. And all of us, we look at our parents and it's like, hey, there may be parts of their life we want to replicate. Then we may take a look at it and be like, I can live without this part over here. And you might have more of them than somebody else does. But at some point, being an adult means that you have got to get to a point where you say, this is the life I'm going to have, separate and apart and outside of my parents. This is going to be my life. This is what I'm going to have, regardless of what happened with them. This is what works for me. This is what improves me. That was what improved them, or that's what they were comfortable with. Or if it didn't improve them, they were comfortable with it. But if it did improve them, okay, that worked for them. This works for me. And there may be some overlap. There may be. But this idea that your parents are going to just be these paragons of virtue and you're going to love to walk in their footsteps, I'm not a big person of walking in parents' footsteps. I believe your children should make their own. Now, they should be prosperous. They should be trendsetters. They should be revolutionary. Great. But ultimately, they should find some equilibrium where their life is theirs. Even if they enter the, quote, family business, they should be able to pick it up and do more with it. They should be able to do that. So they need to be able to do their own thing at some point. But at your point right now, you're 44 years old. Your parents obviously didn't contribute nearly as much to you as you feel they should have. And there's not a whole lot, quite honestly, there's not a lot more to say about them at this point. You need to focus on you. There needs to be 99% conversation about you, 1% conversation about them. At least somebody needs to bury them. But there needs to be very, very little discussion from this day forward about them, because that also becomes a crutch where we focus on them and our life is stagnated and we don't even notice it and we're dealing with issues, and you don't want to be that type of person. Okay?
Appreciate that.
Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Like I said, your parents are only going to be able to carry you so far. You got to carry yourself the rest of the way. I'm going to try this one more time. Caller from area code 336. You're on live.
Yes.
Wow, your phone sounds like you're calling me from south of the Mexican border.
I apologize. I'm out here in the boondocks in Maryland.
It sounds like it. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Sierra. I'm calling from Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland.
Sierra from Maryland, what's on your mind?
Just wanted to say I agree with your point about women not knowing how to get to 1% without going into a lot of debt. I've been trying to get there, and I've accumulated a lot of debt. And right now, I'm 30 years old. I'm broke, and I don't know where my life is going right now. So I just wanted to call in to see if you could possibly point me in the right direction, maybe help me out. No father, no mother, no family. So
okay. Well, first of all, let me tell everybody I did finally get a picture of Monique, and yeah, my advice.
You're always right.
Yeah, my advice still holds. Monique, baby, all I can say is Skittles and that breath spray. Just hit them up when you see them, and just do the best. Make it work as best you can. This is your last train leaving. So, in your case here, well, let me find out a couple of things here. First and foremost, here, what do you want? What do you expect? What are you aiming for?
I'm aiming for a better life than I have for myself right now. I'm just average. I'm aiming for well above average.
Okay. How long have you been aiming for well above average?
I guess ever since I was 18 years old. I started out working when I was 18. So, and I've done a couple of different things. And over the past couple of years, I've been a courier, and it's not really taking me anywhere. Independent contractor, it hasn't really taken me anywhere. I feel like I'm stuck doing this.
Independent contractor has been bastardized so badly over the last 25 years. That's just a term they use now to prevent giving you benefits like healthcare. It means absolutely nothing. Independent contractor used to mean self-employed. Now it's just a term that's used to circumvent paying benefits and taxes. So that's not going to work there. Let me find out here. Let me go ahead and see if I can try to help you with this. I need you to send me you're going to need to send me a link to your social media, dear. Facebook, Instagram.
Okay.
I need to see something because I need to see what type of life you're working with here. I need for you to do that now. You can send that. You can email that to me at handlethebusiness@yahoo.com. That is handlethebusiness@yahoo.com.
Okay, I'm ready to send it now.
Okay, go ahead and do that for me here. And definitely here now. While I was sitting up here looking at Monique's stuff here, by the way, what city did you say you were in again?
Sorry?
What city did you say you were in again? Because I was looking at Monique's stuff while you were talking.
I live in Baltimore.
Okay. Not a lot of options going on there in Baltimore, to be totally honest with you right there. That's not really a place I would send somebody who's trying to build a life unless you were in medicine. Now, if you were a doctor, I think Baltimore could work for you. If you're not that type of professional, I don't see it happening. That's just not a place for a person who's trying to build. So, to be totally honest with you, and it's not really an environment, a social environment that really is for, progressive type people in that way. So, I wouldn't give that to you. Now, did you say you were 30 years old?
Yes.
Okay.
Jason, you said handle the business?
Yes. handlethebusiness@yahoo.com.
Okay.
Handle the business.
Okay.
Now,
I just sent it. I'm going to send it from both my emails.
Oh, well let's okay, well, I guess so. Just double up on me here. Let me find out here. Have you ever been married?
No, I have not.
Have you ever had children?
No. Never been pregnant, no miscarriage.
Okay. No shade, just so I be aware, though. Are you gay?
I was, yes.
Okay. You was. Explain was.
Well, I guess because I didn't have my mother and father around, I was trying to be my father. So, yeah, that's how that went.
All right. So she was tiptoeing through that stud life for a minute. But unfortunately, this is what a lot of these dysfunctional situations create. They create situations where, they're out here trying to find themselves. And that's where it ends up at. So yes, that can very, very much happen there. So people, you need to be very, very careful. Okay, now you sent me a handle here. Was this like your Instagram or something?
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. Let me find out here, only because it helps me to understand exactly what was happening with you here. When was your last relationship?
My last relationship, it's been a while. It's been since I was like 25, so, you know.
Okay, your last relationship has been since you were 25.
Yes, but, okay, so I was listening to some of the women on YouTube here, and I went out and put some weave in my head and stuff like that, and I had met a white guy that pretty much, you know, was just giving me money. I was, you know, trying to be a little sugar baby, I guess, you know.
Okay. So she tried the swirler life. How did that work out?
Well, I never had sex with the guy, so and I didn't never intend to.
That's irrelevant, but go ahead.
Right. Well, I mean, I didn't intend to like have a relationship with him. It was just about the money, but you know.
Yeah, but here's the problem. You doing something strange for some change, baby. You can deny it all you want to, but the bottom line is, you got to deliver something. Dudes ain't gonna just sit around for nothing. You gotta deliver something. So at some point, you were delivering something.
Well, it got cut off. Like he cut it off when that stuff, you know, wasn't happening or whatever.
Okay, I'm just checking there, because at some point there, somebody's going to demand that you put up or shut up, and that you put up or leave.
Yeah,
so.
I know.
Okay,
I know. I listen to you. Okay. I've been waiting, you know.
All right.
To get on the line with you.
All right, here. Well, okay, I did see your Instagram here. All right, well, there you are. Okay. Well, first things first, okay? The first thing is you're not grossly overweight or something really wacky and ridiculous like that. But it is very clear that you have been kind of heavy on the... you've been kind of heavy on the masculine energy. That's very, very clear.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been pregnant?
No, I have not.
Okay. The next thing I'm going to ask you here, and I don't usually say this to people and whatnot, but to be totally honest with you here, I do see where you would benefit, I think, from some therapy. And let me explain to you exactly why.
You said therapy?
Yes, ma'am. And let me explain to you why. Okay?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It takes, here's the problem with what I heard you say. It takes a big leap for a female to find her face between another woman's thighs. That takes a bit of a leap. For you to say, because what you said was you were for a bit. So are you saying that you began your life heterosexual?
Yes, and I've pretty much always known that would happen, but I was just too afraid. Even now, I still struggle with it. I still struggle with people looking at me as a male. But yeah, when I do something, I try to do it the best. And so I was really, you know, trying to play that role, you know.
Okay, here's my thing. Have you suffered any type of physical abuse when you were younger?
I mean, physical, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. By that, I mean people touching on you who shouldn't have been.
Well, yeah. Molestation, yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Because that's usually where that late onset. The real problem is when you mess with kids young, it corrupt sexuality, and eventually they're going to find their way there because they can't define the world outside of it. And I want everyone to understand this is a very serious call. I'm glad she gave me a call here today for this. This is very serious because this happens a lot more than we like. Was your mother married? Of course not.
Yeah, she was.
That don't sound right. That don't sound right.
Yeah, she was married to my sister's father,
but not yours. But not yours.
Yeah, not mine.
Okay.
She didn't know who my father was.
All right. So you all see do you all see how these women, and I shudder to call them women, but do you all see how they pass this on to the children? So the children end up paying for the sins of the fathers and the mothers. And they go their whole lives getting knocked around, and if they're lucky, they'll find somebody like me, and if they're not lucky, they'll find somebody who don't know what the hell they're talking about. Well, just to be very, very clear about it, I mean, this is very serious. This is very, very serious, and I take it very, very seriously. Because these are the women that we are depending upon to be the mothers of the next generation. And if they're walking into this broken and damaged, what can they do to a child except break them and damage them further? So this is very, 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 very important for anybody listening right now. This is very important. This isn't a game. This isn't a joke. I will ban your ass. This is not a game or a joke. And if I need to tell you, then you are the class clown, and I am here to ban class clowns. I just came here to mock class clowns. I didn't come here to tolerate them. This is all very serious. All of that crap she went through took a psyche on her. It took a toll on her psyche. There's only so much she could take. And she looks for comfort where she can find it. And she doesn't really know how to negotiate value with another person like that. She hasn't learned those skills. We got a bunch of young girls out here today who have become grown women. The bastard baby making era started in the late 60s, early 70s. Now a bunch of these young kids are grown. They're in their 30s and 40s, or maybe even older in some cases, which is a damn shame because they're lacking a lot of the social and emotional tools that they need. So they haven't had if I may to be blunt, based on what I've seen, you haven't had a woman sit down and teach you even the basics of femininity. Not even the basics.
Nope. I have five.
I'm not going to get into some other things. I am going to say, and don't say anything, but I will tell you all that it has been my experience, especially in that Northeast. Oh, I'm going to say it like it damn well is. Especially in that damn Northeast. Down in the deep South, not so much, but that damn Northeast is a freaking whorehouse. Now, I want to ask one more thing. Can your family trace its roots to American slavery, or does your family trace its roots outside of the U.S.?
American slavery. I was born in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Okay, you were. I wonder about some other elements in your family. I just wonder.
My people came from Georgia.
Okay. Well, they went up there and very quickly got corrupted to hell. Very quickly.
Yes.
That Northeast.
Yes.
To be totally honest with y'all, that Northeast, anything north of Virginia is a damn whorehouse. I'm just going to say it like it is. They have adopted this whorehouse mentality and culture and have raped the daughters with it. And I have no mercy on that Northeast. Anything north of Virginia, which is amazing to say. The Confederacy be like, ooh, you're giving us props. No, I ain't giving y'all a damn thing. But that Northeast, where black folk are concerned, when they bring them kids over here, Cuban, Puerto Rican, Dominican Republic, Haiti, it's on and cracking with the whorehouse culture. is on and cracking. And everybody knows it. Every damn body knows it.
Mm-hmm.
I love women from New York. They're intelligent, they're quick. But if I can just be straight with y'all, most of y'all are emotionally, psychologically screwed up, and it's usually coming from your mamas. That just seems to go hand in hand. That just goes hand in hand. No, it's not the media. It's whorehouse culture. I meant what I said. This is a family tradition. Be that as it may. Right now, I'm seeing women who haven't been taught how to use tampons. I'm seeing women who have not been taught any proper hygiene. I'm seeing women who have not been taught how to shave. I am seeing women who have not been taught the basics of hair care at all. We're talking basic things. You see, a man might be able to go a couple of days without taking a bath, but a woman can't really do that, because especially if it's that time of the month, she can't go 2 days without taking a bath, people. A man, depending on his job, he might be able to skate by. A woman can't do it. She's got to have a daily practice of doing that, because when it gets that time of the month, she can't act like a little 5-year-old boy. She's got to be on it every day. And if she's not, she's destroyed her value immediately. We ain't talking about you didn't brush your damn teeth. We're talking about it's that time of the month. She needs to be scrubbed from head to damn me toe. And if that has not been impressed on her at an early age, then I see that as being indicative of other issues. I'm expecting to see other issues. I'm expecting to see other issues at that point. That's going to be the kind of thing that weighs on us. That's going to be the kind of thing that weighs on us. Let me be very clear in the chat room. Anybody who thinks I'm making jokes right now, you're going to be banned. Don't bother asking to come back. You're banned. I'm not joking. This is not funny to me. To my mods, anybody who thinks this is funny what I'm saying right now, I want them banned. I do not want them timed out. I want them banned. Anybody who thinks this is funny, this is not a minor thing. And I'm seeing some females laughing. That's amazing, because this is a female issue. This is something that we don't talk about and we don't discuss, and damn well needs to be. These are grown women, and your mama might have been okay with men overlooking her, but the daughters are not. The daughters want to have that environment, and it's been denied them. And a woman without a man being her protector and provider is half a woman. Is half a woman, because we live in a world where you need to be protected and provided for. The men can protect and provide for themselves. Who's going to do it for the women? So your mama might have been okay just hanging out there by herself and getting her ass whooped. That doesn't mean your daughters are going to be the same. Like I told the previous caller, things that work for your parents might not work for you. Your mama might have been okay with that, getting lashes on the ass. That didn't work for you. Hell, there's no proof it worked for her. So I got a grown woman here who is devoid of those things. If I could give you something, what I would give you is an etiquette school. Quite frankly. I think that would be a fantastic thing, and let me explain to you why. I could talk to you all day long about moving forward, moving on, moving forward. I could talk to you all damn day about that. None of that matters. If you woke up tomorrow with the right guy and kids, you would just get down the road to screwing them up, because you can't give them what you don't know. And there are some basics you don't know. Some basics you don't have. So the building yourself up part right now needs to begin with you. you need to just take into account that your mother didn't give this to you, so you're going to have to get it for yourself, okay?
Okay.
You're going to have to get that for yourself. And that means that you're going to have to go to some folk who can give that to you. So right now, I think you would benefit greatly from an etiquette school, some folks saying a charm school, whatever you want to call it. I think you would benefit greatly from that. Greatly from some basic training. And I mean some basic in-person training, not from somebody on the internet. You need to go to a place that can talk to you in person. Some women, hopefully with a woman teaching, who can sit down and talk to you in person and build what you're supposed to have from the ground up. No, and not on YouTube. I meant what I said. You need to go to somebody who you can stand in front of them and you have to come see them 2 or 3 times a week. That's what you need. You need some folks who can come there and you can see them 2 or 3 times a week. If I could do something, that would be what I would do. In addition to a therapist for these issues you've had, because here's the problem, you've been touched on. I'm not one of these YouTube people who tries to play about this. This is a woman who's been touched in a bad way when she was young. She has not gotten the requisite necessary help for it. If you were younger, they would have had just talking to somebody younger. You're in your 30s. You've been trying to deal with this yourself.
Yeah.
And it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And you can't talk to your family. All your damn family wants to do is pretend it didn't happen. For the ones who will even address it. Absolutely. So you can't fool with them niggas. You got to deal with somebody who is actually going to address it from where you are, okay?
Okay. I know what etiquette is. I've heard of etiquette. I just wouldn't know how to go about that, like how to go about finding someone that I can meet with.
I am not I'm going to be totally honest with you here. I'm not 100,000% certain about that myself, but here's what I want you to do, okay? You sent me an email. To my folks who are out there right now, because here's the problem. Those schools are necessary. It doesn't necessarily mean that you will be near one. I am going to tell you that you need that, whether it is a teacher or whatever. That is something that you need from the ground up. You really do need that. You need to have some serious heterosexual women that you can deal with. You need that. So what I'm going to do here, I want to put this in a shout out to my people here. If you're up there in that Northeast, in that Baltimore area, if we got something like a charm school, etiquette school, somebody in person with some credentials who handles that kind of thing, I want you to email me so I can get in touch with her about that. I want somebody with some credentials, somebody who does this kind of thing, handles this kind of thing with some credentials. And go ahead and email me at handlethebusiness@yahoo.com. Anybody emailing me anything else, you will be blocked. Just be aware. Put etiquette school in the subject line. They're all over the place, but I definitely want something with some credentials. If you have one you recommend on somebody with credentials, people, don't just tell me my aunt Janice runs a YouTube channel. I'm not looking for that. But definitely in that area there, that would be an important thing for you to have. So what I'll do is I'm going to follow up with you, okay? I'm going to follow up with you.
Okay.
And now be aware. Be aware. It's going to cost some money, okay? It's not going to be free.
Okay.
But this is what you need. And here's the reason why. Any man that you meet, just like you expect a man to already have and already know some masculine things, even if he didn't have a father in his life and he doesn't know it, you can be sympathetic, but you ain't going to keep him. I'm like, hey, dude, I can't be the man. You're supposed to know all this.
Right.
You're supposed to know all this.
Right.
So it's going to be up to you. You know, you're going to have to you're going to have to acquire these things, because if you don't, then men are not going to tell you, but they're going to penalize you. They're not going to tell you, but they're going to penalize you. So that's the reason why you're going to have that, okay? That's the reason why you're going to have it.
Okay. Hey, Jason, I just had one more question for you. I know since I've been here in Baltimore that Maryland isn't really for me. Beautiful place, but not really for me. And I was listening to a couple of people about how fast Texas is growing, but then I heard you talk about that it not being such a good place for people to go to. But I was wondering, would Texas be a better place for me to be? Namely, Austin or maybe Houston?
No. Right now, you're not ready to talk about relocating. Your head ain't even straight enough to do it. The only reason why I would tell you to relocate is if you're in a place where, you know, the environment is not good for you, too many reminders and things like that. It helps to go to a totally new place. But here's the problem. How much money do you have in the bank?
Yeah. So.
Okay. So right now, what I'm saying is you're putting yourself ahead. Okay, we ain't even there yet.
Okay.
Even if I said yes, what you gonna do? Go find some dude on Instagram and go lay up with him? Now you're repeating problems. No, you need to get your own money up on you. You need to get some savings before you do any of that. But here's the problem: you're not gonna get anything saved up until you get your head straight. Okay. You need to get your head together. You have been raised on a steady diet of crap since you were a child. You need to get your head together. You need to become a complete person of yourself. Now, I don't know what that complete person is going to be. The good news is you are in good physical condition. So it's not like I'm sitting here telling you, well, if you lose 30 pounds. So congratulations, you're not one of those. Okay? She's not one of those. So she doesn't have she meets the physical fitness requirement, but we got other issues. We have other issues. So, because here's the thing, at your age right now, like I say, and if you get yourself together at your age right now, you know, you can rehab yourself. Okay. At your age, you can do it. At your age, you can do that. And it wouldn't take a whole lot to get you over that line. Okay. It wouldn't take a whole lot to get you over that line. I know the other thing that you're having issues with, you know, you're looking at yourself and being, you know, oh, well, I'm not an 8 or a 9 or anything like that. Okay, no, but here's the thing. I want you to understand, I'm going to sprinkle you with some game right now because you haven't really been able to deal with these type of men, okay? What you need is a man with some sense in your life is what you need, but you already know that. I'm not going to recommend you go for no hotep dudes because I can see some of that energy floating. Without me saying any names, I see some of that energy floating. That's not what you need. Okay? You don't need that. That's the wrong direction. Okay? Don't do that.
Okay.
What is your skill? Okay,
well,
the short answer is nothing. Okay, the short answer is you don't have one.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it doesn't have anything to do with
all
art.
Right.
Yeah.
Excellent. Art me ass. Can you turn off that ringer, please? We handling business over here. I'm trying to get your life together for you.
I don't know. That's not me. I'm in a vehicle. I don't know what ringer that is.
In any case, what I'm saying to you here is I want you to understand where you're at, okay?
Yes.
I want you to understand where you're at. Let me find out a couple of things here, okay? What about your, do you have any siblings?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
And can you tell me where are they at right now, and did they turn out similarly?
Oh, well, all of them have over 4 children. None of them are married. So, yeah, the reason I came to Baltimore is because I was endeavoring to do business with my sister, the one that's above me, because I'm the baby. I had my insurance license when I came here, and her and I were going to do Primerica together, but it ended up me doing all the work, learning everything, and her doing nothing. So I went and got me a job and moved in my own apartment. My other sisters, one is back in North Carolina. I don't know really what she's doing, and then the other one moved halfway across the country to like Arizona. And I have another sister that is like a recovering addict or whatever. So, and I don't deal with any of my sisters.
Okay.
I had one brother, he passed away before I was even born.
Well, that's the kind of thing, like I say, it's good to have a family support system. You don't have one.
Yeah, I know.
Long story
I
short.
know.
I mean, I have to cover my bases before somebody gets in trouble. Jason, you should ask about a family support system. She doesn't have one. She's having to rebuild and build her life on her own. She doesn't have a system. So it's going to be up to her. It would be nice if, like I say, in your case here, the problem is, first of all, there are 2 things need to happen, okay? You need to rebuild yourself emotionally, but you also need to rebuild yourself personally, okay? And right now, you lack confidence. That's another thing.
Wow.
You're a nice person and everything, but you don't have any confidence. But let me tell you where confidence comes from. Confidence comes from experience plus persistence. But it also requires some successes and some wins. All right? When you actually start
you said it also requires...
It requires some successes and some wins. You got to get some wins under your belt. You got to get some victories. And right now, you don't have those. Okay? How much money do you make a year right now?
Last year, I made $46,000.
Okay. Not awful, but not great either. In your case, I'm going to recommend that you go to nursing school. I'm going to recommend that seriously to you. And let me tell you why. First of all, it is something that will allow you to acquire a skill set that you can actually use quickly. It is a portable skill set. Okay?
Okay.
It's a portable skill set. So if you want to move, you can. Now, you can't do it as a CNA. I would hope that you would keep going until you get to RN, okay? Because you can become an LPN. Okay. You can become an LPN within a year. It will also teach you to deal with people. It will teach you to, have people skills, to be compassionate. It will teach you to see other folk who've been through stuff worse than you. It will give you an opportunity to start developing those caring, nurturing skills. Because there's the real thing. You ain't never met a man who was flat on his back in a hospital who ain't think of something about a nurse. You don't have a bad feeling about a nurse in the hospital unless she's one of them nurse ratchet types. If she comes in and has a nice demeanor, I'm telling you, there's nothing like that. And that's a very good environment for you to learn in. That's a very good vocation for you to have. To be able to do that. It will help fill in a lot of the gaps that you have. And if you want to leave Baltimore, you can. Doesn't matter where you want to go. There will always be a job paying north of $60,000 waiting for you. No matter where you go. No matter where you go.
Okay, I've never even thought about becoming a nurse.
I
but
know.
Now I'm thinking about it.
Because you never had anybody sit there and look at you and think about your future outside of yourself. You never had a mother or a father be able to do this. If you had guidance counselors, they were probably more concerned about keeping you from committing freaking suicide than they were about, we're just trying to keep her from being dead right now. Forget a job. We're trying to keep her out of a casket, especially if they knew your home situation. So, and most of them, to be totally honest with you, which you don't know where to point y'all, the average guidance counselor is clueless. Now, when you meet business owners who have to actually deal with real people, then that's different. Especially somebody who has to recruit other people. So I've done just about everything under the sun. I've dealt with everybody who has. I've investigated it fully, so I can just tell you right now, there's not thousands of careers you can go into in reality. In this world right now, there's about a dozen. There's really only about a dozen. And you will choose from that dozen. Everything else is a useless degree. But in your case, because this is the kind of information that used to just be relegated to white society, and they tried to separate it and segregate it from us so that we'll all just be sitting around spinning our wheels, and then you go sign up as a janitor at Walmart. No, I'm going to give you the inside. As a female, I would recommend highly that you do that. I'm not going to say anything like pharmacy or something, because pharmacy is, that's something that takes a lot more study, and I don't want to put something really super heavy on you. If you want to switch to do that later, maybe you can, but I think that would work out great. It would give you the opportunity to work side by side with men and women who make 5 and 6 times what you currently do. I know quite a few nurses personally who they didn't come from the best home environments either, but they got to work with white women and Asian women and upper middle class black women who showed them how to wear a proper bra. They took them out to lunch with them at nice places they otherwise never would have even thought of. They helped them to step their damn game up. First of all, they showed them what the game was. Because here's the thing, men can't tell you how to be, quote, more feminine. And like I said before, all we can do is punish you if you're not. If you're feminine enough, we'll reward you. But if you're not, we can't tell you, here's what you need to do, and here's where you need to go, and here's where you got nice bras at, and look at these shoes. We can't do that. We're just going to punish you if you don't meet the code. Hanging out with other women who got their act together, which you have not been able to do. I was mentioning about this here before. As a woman, if you want to learn how to get gamed up, it's good if you can meet a man, but it's better if you can meet the women who are already inside where you're trying to go. It's better if you can meet them. So if you go into something like nursing, you're going to be meeting a bunch of folks who have more money than you. Not the other nurses, and not at LPN level. RNs, nurse practitioners, doctors, specialists. You will be in an environment surrounded by other people who are doing good. And you can actually get to that level in 2 or 3 years tops. There's no reason why if you don't apply yourself, you can make it to LPN in year 1. And you can probably make it to RN within 3 years, max. If you apply yourself. But okay. I think for the life you've lived, for where you're trying to go, for what you're trying to do, I think that will work out. I think that would be a great step for you to take. If you've never been told it or considered it, if you were my daughter and I just picked you up from the crazy ass mama, that's the first thing I would be trying to do with you. You'll be in an environment where I know once you get done, you'll be good. It'll be portable. You can take it with you. You can start dealing with people one-on-one. It's going to develop your empathy skills, your soft skills. And then when you do meet a man, in conjunction with your therapy and some etiquette school, when you do meet a man, you're going to be much further along to being compatible with him. And he's going to be like, take a look at all these pluses she's got. Because at least you will be somebody he can work with, that he feels he can work with. Because all these other things have been addressed first. Do you see why I said all those other things first and got this nursing thing last?
Yes.
When you deal with all those other things, then you'll be ready for the man. You'll be ready to move if you want to. You'll be ready to leap. The problem is so many of y'all are in such pain, and I get it. You just want to do something now, and what you end up doing is the wrong thing. You end up doing something that's a
Right.
short-term something. I don't specialize in short-term fixes. I specialize in permanent fixes. This will be a permanent fix.
That's why I called you.
Well, this will be a permanent
Thank you.
fix. If you have not looked into a nursing program, especially the amount of money you make, by the way, you can probably get financial aid for it. Make sure you go to an accredited school now. You want a school that's accredited. Very, very important.
Okay.
But, you certainly want to do that. Don't go for something like phlebotomy or something. You don't want something limited, okay? You want something that puts you on a career path. And within year one, you'll be LPN. I know LPNs making over $40,000. So in year one, you can have that. And by year 3, please. And you might not even have to make it that long. Because once you become LPN, it depends on where you go after that. I'm not going to get into different employers. You can work for the state, you can work for the feds, whatever. But what I will say is you can actually start applying it, okay? I'm not going to sit up here and ask my LPNs, my nurses, baby. If you don't know a nurse, go to Facebook. And there's a bunch of RNs and nurses. All of them will hip you to the game, okay? Find somebody with some sense. Don't find some ratchet, but find somebody with some damn sense on Facebook who's on your friends list, who's an RN. She'll hip you, male or female. I shouldn't say, I would prefer female because of what you've been through. I prefer for you to talk to a female. They'll hip you to the game. There's LPNs and RNs everywhere, although I prefer the RNs because most LPNs is hit or miss. A lot of the ones who are trying to become RNs are good, but there's a lot of LPNs never gave up their ratchet hood rat ways. They're still driving that Nissan Maxima or that Nissan Murano. Now it's that Nissan Rogue. I don't want you dealing with them. I want you to deal with some females. And shout out to my dudes in the chat, Ricky. I see you. There's dudes who are RNs. I wanted to deal with some females who can help game her up in that field and whatnot, and that she can talk to. That would be helpful. That'd be helpful.
Thank you.
I'm going to forward you
so
some.
very much.
There's no problem. I'm going to forward you some things here. And by the way, you didn't have to book a session. If y'all want to know why I don't like that mess, niggas out here bastardizing what I taught. This isn't a profit center for some fast-talking charlatan still trying to get his life together and trying to fool the world into thinking it is. No. If you don't know what the hell this is about, don't come out here trying to con job your way through things. You messing up the territory for everybody else out here. There's folks who really need stuff. We don't need some poser faking his way through life. Folks who need to be sitting in a psychiatrist's chair are trying to be the damn psychiatrist. No. But what I want for you to do here, I'm going to send you some information. And what I want for you to do is I hope you will follow up on it and check back with me here in 3 months. Not 6. 3. Because we're going into winter months. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to be enrolled in a program in 90 days. No reason whatsoever. If you are not, it's because you simply didn't do it. Now, if you're not going to do anything, then I will bid you a good life. But if you're willing to try, I will do everything I can to help you.
Absolutely, I will try. I will do. Thank you so much for taking my call.
You have my email address. Don't tell me, show me.
Okay.
Thank you very much for giving us a call here. This is what we do. No, you didn't have to book a session. The folks who want you to don't have nothing to tell you. That's why they don't have anybody else calling back and calling up where the world can hear it and giving their report on the information that they received. Y'all better know the principles from the posers. Caller from area code 332. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from? Caller from area code 332. Last try. You're on live. Caller from 332 has been abducted. Caller from area code 314. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, how you doing, Jason?
What is your name? Where you're calling from? Wake the hell up.
My name is Ace calling from St. Louis.
Ace from St. Louis. I should have known. What's on your mind?
I was on hold forever, man. I had my phone down and I was writing.
I'm a busy person.
I was calling to see if you I was calling to see if you had any advice for me to increase my sales skills.
Okay. You're a salesperson?
That's correct.
Okay. Once again, this is why it's very, very important here. You can't listen to posers and folk on the internet pretending to be something. Anybody can get online and pretend something, and then they don't bring people any type of receipts or proof, and niggas is out here going for it. But okay. Jason, what separates you from the rest? Brother, I can tell you about that. I was a very good salesperson. I would recommend a couple of books to you. People like to recommend Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I guess that's a good basic one, simply because a bunch of people use it, but I wouldn't. I mean, it's all right. I just think it's a bit dated and kind of hard to digest. And to me, the quintessential book that every single person who wants to be good at sales must read. It is simple. It's to the point. He wrote it the way I would have written it. He wrote it in chronological order, with the lessons he learned in simple to understand English the way I would have written it. How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success by Frank Bettger. Bettger. You can look it up on Amazon or Google it. How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success by Frank Bettger. I consider that to be, I'm not going to give a list of books, that's quintessential as far as I'm concerned. That book was very essential. If you take the lessons to heart, it helps you. All right. That's from other people. If you want the Jason Black rules, you all remember that I've taught you all my rules for salesmen. Not going to go into all of them here right now, but the number one rule of salesmanship is to convince the customer that the decision to buy was his and not yours. Okay?
All right.
Number 2, emphasize the benefits. Too often what happens is folk try to figure out how to talk the customer into something. Remember, when you tell a person what it's going to do for them, how it's going to improve their lives, that's what they really care about. Because all they see is some dude trying to get in their pockets. So emphasize the benefits. And then once you've got it, don't take too long closing the sale. And last but not least, the price is the price. The price is the price. Don't let folk pull you down on your price. If what you are offering is of a fair, correct value, the price is the price. That's why you do number 1, number 2, and number 3. Because what you're worried about is number 4. And if you've done number 1, number 2, and number 3, then you've already set up number 4 for a win.
Got you.
So that's if you want the down and dirty Cliff Notes version for me. Now, there's some details that go into those right now, but those are basically, if you want to know the things that I focused on as a salesperson. Once again, your posers can't give you all exact rules. Rollo Tomasi and friends can take your money. They can't tell you what to do. But if you want to know specifically what it was, and like I say, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and lie, but also be confident, because you can't, why would anyone buy something from you if you don't sound like you are confident in it yourself? You know, there's no way in the world that you can convince anybody else to buy if you sound like you don't know what the hell you're talking about. So that would be another, like I said, there's just some small details to go into it here. How long you been selling things?
It's been a while.
A while is not a number.
Been selling for right. It's been 3 months. I've been selling for 3 months.
What are you selling?
I'm over at Spectrum.
Okay, you sell cable. Okay. Shouldn't be too bad. The only thing about them is sometimes they have spotty service, but then again, all the carriers have spotty service to a certain degree. Basically, I used to work in telecommunications. I used to do $40,000-$50,000 a month in sales. So certainly,
you do how much? Say that again.
$40,000 or $50,000 a month. depending on which month you want to choose. So like I say, in some ways it was impressive, in some ways not quite so much. I could have done 3 times that much, but I deliberately didn't. And the reason I didn't was because if your numbers got too high, they wanted to move you into business. And I never wanted to do business sales. Because basically, the long story short, and I'm not going to sit up here and pat myself in the back. Long story short, I was doing residential, not business. And the numbers that I did made me a rock star in residential. But that was basically mediocre in business. So why would I go to the business side and be selling to business customers where I would have been expected to do 150,000 when I could stay in residential? I'm doing business numbers, 80 to 50,000 because it was we had a flex on that. But why in the world would I go to business where they would expect me to do at least 60,000, 80,000? That would be
90 seconds.
Why not just stay in residential and be a damn rock star? Why not?
Right.
So they tried to get me to move. I'm like, oh hell no, y'all ain't gonna get me on that one. I'm good over here. But I'm just letting you know, like I said, that was strategic, and I could have made more money in business, but I was just like, I ain't gotta work all that hard. So, like I say, I used to do telecommunications, so I know what you're going through. They put you through their little sales courses, which really don't help, because the people who are really good at sales aren't teaching the classes. That's the real problem. The folks who are actually good at sales aren't teaching the classes. They try to condense it down to a workbook, but the workbook isn't written by master salesmen either. They throw a whole bunch of rules at you when in reality there's not a whole bunch of rules. These are a few techniques, a few communication techniques, and really, they really just need to, drill those into you and monitor you. But they don't want to do that. That takes time. We got to have people who walk through that. No, that's manpower at the floor. We would rather just throw you behind the chair of a phone, throw a workbook at you, and then say, here, just keep reading this. And they don't build salespeople anymore like that. They don't do that anymore. So you basically have to learn on your own. So I know what you're going through.
10 seconds.
Halfway if you don't quit. But I know what you're going through. So if I'm just telling you right there, if you want to know what worked for me, if you want to know what I did, if you want to know the rules that I made when I was doing it, and those are the skills you work on. Convince them that the decision to buy was theirs, not yours. And convince doesn't mean you sit there telling them that this ain't me now, this ain't me talking. No, what I'm saying is the customer will lead you into it. Well, how do they lead you into it? Rule number 2, emphasize the benefits. Don't get to how much it costs. Find out what he wants to do. What does he want to do with his life? Does he want to be a writer? Does he want to be a gamer? Okay, and then show him how internet service is integral to doing that. And at that point, it sells itself. Right. Now you double back to rule number 1 is, hey, he's not buying it because you said so. He's buying it because he wants to be a better writer, a better gamer, a better podcaster, whatever. And Spectrum is going to give him the edge.
Got you.
There you go.
Understood. Definitely appreciate the information. Black first, brother. Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight.
Wow, it kind of sounds like I've actually lived in that world and I actually know what I'm talking about. It kind of sounds like, yeah, this Jason Black guy has actually done it. He's not turning on the camera and trying to convince people he's done it. Sounds like this dude has actually done it. I'm not speaking in vague generalities. I'm actually giving you the step-by-step rule. Separate the real from the phony. Plenty of phony. Caller from area code 305. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
B1 Jason, it's One Love 305 out of Alabama.
Black first, brother. What's on your mind?
Yeah, man, got something that I think you the one that can help me, man. Specific question. Starting with innovational technology business. We're at the hiring process now. We're looking at getting the CPA, 2 accountants, 4 accounting clerks. So I heard you speak about CPAs a couple of times. What's a fair price? We're working out our budget. What's a fair price for a corporate CPA? And secondly, are they classified as subcontractors or would they have to be a full-time employee?
Your CPA? Hell no. No. As far as being an employee, no.
Okay.
You send your work you send your work to a CPA. I mean, if you get big enough where you need an in-house accountant, there's a difference between an accountant and a CPA. That's why I always make that distinction. There's a difference between those two things. Now, if you ever get to a point where you need an in-house accountant, business is lovely. So, more power to you. But as far as how to hire them, now that's going to be a different matter. In my world, CPAs are like anybody else that we need. They are recommended. Just flip open the phone book and guess your way through it. So what I would want to find is a business, hopefully a local business that is doing well. And, now for me, my attorneys have always been able to hook me up with my CPAs. So if you have a good attorney, then he should be able to connect you with a good CPA. And that's very, very important because your CPA is your frontline soldier against the IRS. Your CPA is supposed to know how to make the magic happen with the IRS, okay? He's supposed to know all the tricks, all the rules, all the tricks the corporations got. He's supposed to be able to at least miniaturize those for you. So I would recommend that, if you have a good attorney, see if they can recommend you to a good CPA, one who handles $1 million accounts. So that way you're no problem, okay? Because having a very competent CPA helps immeasurably.
Right. So we have excellent. Appreciate that information. We have the budget. We're trying to write that in. So what that was the first one is what would be a fair price that we're looking.
What he charges. Now let's just be very clear about something. This would be like somebody walking in your place of business saying, well, what would be a fair price? Oh, hell no. You walked up in here. If you knew how to find me, you know how to pay me. Now, I'm just going to be honest with you about that. If you know how to find him, you know how to pay him. Now, technically speaking, I hope what you're trying to ask me is, will it be charged in hundreds or thousands? It depends how much you making. So what I am going to say is, technically speaking, they can prepare individual taxes for maybe $700,000. It depends. Businesses, it may go up from there. Like I say, it depends on how complex it's going to be. Tens of thousands of dollars? No. Now, if you're
we definitely need to adjust the budget. We wrote in $250.
Okay. No.
So we way off.
Yeah. I mean, no. If you were thinking tens of thousands, no, you would need an enterprise for something like that to happen. And that means if he's got to go looking through a bunch of things and find a bunch of write-offs, because the thing is, the CPA's time is what he's going to charge you for, okay? So that's the thing to keep in mind. The CPA's time is what you're going to be charged for. So you don't want a bunch of stuff. If you can prepare as much of it as you can before you send it to him, that helps. If you're big enough where you need an accountant to prepare things, that's a different matter. If it's just you and 2-3 other people, if you can just itemize it all and summarize it and send it to him, that helps. If you have software or Quicken, something like that you can keep up with, that does it for you, that helps as well. But other than that, brother, like I say, the real thing is about getting to the CPA. Because I'm a big believer. Robert Kiyosaki is a poser, by the way, for those of you who didn't know. But I do agree with one of the things he said in one of his Rich Dad books. When he said, when hiring a CPA, if you ask him what is 2 + 2, and he says 5, don't hire him. He's too stupid. If you ask him what is 2 + 2, and he says 4, don't hire him. He's not smart enough. If you ask him what is 2 + 2, and he says to you, what would you like 2 + 2 to equal? Hire him.
Okay.
That is the CPA you want. You want a CPA who believes in fighting the IRS. You want a CPA who believes in tilting the scales as much as he can in your favor. Because believe me, the IRS is going to do that. And the IRS doesn't go after mega corporations. They go after small, affluent people and small businesses because they figure you don't have the money to fight them. AT&T and Amazon have the money to fight them, which is why AT&T and Amazon, as ridiculous as it sounds, biggest, most profitable corporations on earth, can say we ain't made no taxes. We don't owe you nothing in taxes. And the IRS just says, okay, bye. But they'll go after you.
Right.
They'll go after you and me because they figure we won't fight it. So you need an attorney who is ready for that type of crooked government agency. And that's an attorney who's dealt with $1 million contracts. He's had to deal with audits. You know, he's had to deal with lawsuits and testifying. That's the CPA you want. And typically speaking, if you have a good attorney, a good civil attorney should be able to recommend a good CPA. Preferably one that's dealt with business accounts. Preferably. I'm talking about millions of dollars, not thousands.
Right. So I have a patent attorney. Well, he can give me that information.
You can ask him. I mean, if he's a very good patent attorney, maybe I would really want to look in the direction maybe of a civil attorney, because if you get sued by the IRS, that's the direction it'll go. But I would really recommend the direction of a civil attorney probably. Or if you have a injury lawyer, if he's making a bunch of money, he's probably got a very good CPA of his own because he needs to keep the lawsuits off his ass. So you really want to deal with somebody who's touching a few million. They're going to have a CPA who keeps that $1 million in his pockets. You see what I mean?
Right. Last question. I'm writing this stuff down. You hitting me with some good stuff. I don't know if you remember. I emailed you about this a little while ago. I'm dealing with the government, NASA, DOT pipeline. We just heard from them again, but we're leaning away from government contracts. That's what we're
right. In that case, there, and if it's about that other matter, no, you want to email me. Is this about something else?
Yes, yeah. I was just, it was just some quick advice. So I understand, most of it is proprietary, but we're leaning away from the government contracts and we're ready to go into the private sector because the government drags their feet, taking their time. We're ready to jump now. So would that be a good decision, or should I stick with it?
I mean,
we're trying to wait.
Government and government contracts depend on administrations. City, state, federal. Sometimes it moves quicker than others. I would never pull out of at least having the option. I would always keep that available. Even if it ain't moving as fast as you would like. I mean, this is why you have to be versatile. It's like, hey, keep something going regardless. I would never pull myself out of the running altogether. No, I would never do that.
Okay. And Jason, you deal with a lot of truckers and truck drivers. That's one of the innovations we're putting out there. If we get some fleet people who own their own fleets, I don't know if you know any of the drivers who own their own fleets with hazardous material. If I can give you my website, email it to you. If you can have them go to the website.
Okay. Well, definitely. Are you a member of my Well, let me find here. Are you a member of my Facebook group?
No, sir.
Okay, well, you need to be. Go ahead and join my Facebook group, the official Jason Black group. I have pinned at the top of the page is the post I have for truck drivers. So join that group, and you can put something on that post, okay? That's where all my truckers are.
And that's at what is that again?
No, it's on Facebook, the official Jason Black group.
The official Jason Black.
Right. Go ahead and check that out. At the top of the page, there's a post up there for truckers. Just do that one, okay?
I appreciate it, Jason. You've been great and excellent advice to the other caller, the female from Baltimore, man. I appreciate how you do people, and you're excellent. Thank you again.
Well, pay it forward, brother. Pay it forward. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight.
I hit you up.
Definitely here, like I say, folks, we don't have to guess our way through this right here. No, I'm not doing that. You don't have to book a session. You don't have to buy a book. You don't have to do any of that mess right there. I would be losing money booking sessions. By the way, if your paper was really straight, you ain't got time to book a session, you would be losing too much money which is what would happen to me. The time I would have to take out booking sessions, I would actually be losing money. Oh, I'm sorry. What am I, the real thing? Caller from area code 317. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you're calling from?
Hey, this is Chris.
Chris, where are you calling from?
Oh, yeah, Indianapolis.
Okay, Chris, what's on your mind?
Well, I'm 34, and I've been trying to just figure out what I really want to do. I mean, as far as like, you know, to get better situated financially.
Okay, first of all, you need to wake up.
Job and everything.
First of all, brother, you need to wake up, dude. That's the first suggestion I will make to you in life. Have you been smoking weed today?
No, I haven't.
Okay, sure sounds like you have. What do you do for a living?
I'm a mechanic, automotive mechanic. I mean, I went to Job Corps years back for automotive technology. Right now, I work on the city buses.
Okay, are you a member of my patron?
No, I'm not.
Okay, I thought you were somebody over there. Okay, in this case right now, you say you do mechanic work?
Yes, I do.
Okay, how long you been doing it?
I just started that, 2 years? Well, as far as this job, I'm going on 2 years in January.
Okay, how good are you?
I want to say average to above average.
Okay, there's your problem. Let me tell you all, for those of you who work in these direct service industries, automotive mechanic, lawyer, doctor, you're only going to be able to make as good as how good you are. The better you are, the more money you will make. If you're a mechanic who is struggling to understand, your money's going to come slow. If you are a mechanic who, first of all, can diagnose an issue quickly, there's your money. Second of all, if you can break it down and fix it quickly, there's the money. If you're a mechanic who every year and every day is your damn first day, then it's going to be a problem. Understand?
Yes, sir.
So that's the reason. If you're having trouble, brother, there's the problem. Show me a mechanic who is struggling to understand his craft, and I will show you a mechanic who's struggling. So I tell this to everybody, if you are not the best, if you are not one of the top 5 mechanics in town, you're going to be struggling. Whether you work for a company or work for yourself. If you have not involved yourself enough in this that you're an expert at it, don't expect to make expert money. You're going to make struggle money. Even as a mechanic, you're going to struggle. Because you're nobody's preferred option. And even if you were, it takes you too long to get done. Or you're ordering parts you don't need. Or whatever else. So my first thing to you would be, if you're not an expert at this, you need to fix that deficiency. That's where your money gonna come from.
Okay. Like I said, I went to Job Corps and I did like automotive technology, and so now that I'm working in, I think one of the issues is like now that I'm in like these buses, obviously they're diesel.
Okay, you need to continue. Okay, but here's the real issue. You need to continue getting it, like your ASC certifications. You need to continue that. Job Corps is okay to start. Yeah. How many ASC certifications do you have, sir?
I've got
okay, thank you. How many ASCs you got? All right, there you go. There you go.
I passed my A6 electrical.
Okay.
Of course, it expired a couple years back.
Wow.
So,
okay, he passed it and it expired. So what that tells me is you're like a nurse who doesn't keep her credentials current, or a doctor who doesn't keep his current. And then you wondering why you ask me, talking about what do I need to do? How many kids you got, brother?
None.
None? Okay, you sure act like a fella got kids. How many girlfriends you got?
None.
Okay, at this rate, the chick who called me at the beginning with the dude with bad breath, that's going to be your chick just in a bit. Brother, you're bull jiving. You're bull jiving. Man, you playing around. How old are you?
34.
Man, you jiving around. You're playing around at a time in your life where you're supposed to be hitting your stride. You're playing. You're playing. Just understand this. Your years you're ticking off. You have not gotten your ASCs. The one you did get, you didn't even keep that up to code. I have known 2 mechanics in my life who were the best. They were the best. Both of them had a wall full of ASCs. By the way, your posers can't name all this stuff. Your red pillars can't name all this stuff. Your pickup artists can't really help dudes get themselves together. Getting yourself together with females is a part of getting yourself together, but how are you going to help somebody else get themselves together? You don't even know what any of these things I'm talking about are. Whole bunch of fellas are going to wake up having wasted a whole bunch of money on internet con men. But in any case, dude, you're a mechanic who doesn't even know what ASCs you're supposed to have. You are not, okay, stop talking. You are lazy. You have neglected to learn your craft. You have refused to learn your craft. You're refusing. In a world where you need to know all this. And you haven't learned your craft. You're a mechanic who is refusing to invest in his continuing education. You're going to work every day and going home, puffing a little weed, playing some video games. You're not investing in yourself. You're in your early 30s and you're not investing in the time. Right now, half your time needs to be spent in work. The other half of your time needs to be spent in training to get better, to master it. Now, that's one thing the white dudes do. The white dudes keep investing in their training because they want to be able to call hands and call shots with the employers. You can't call you when you got a book full of ASCs, ain't no arguing that. There's no arguing American service excellence. There's no arguing that. When you got your ASCs in electrical, in gears, in wiring, in heating, and AC, there's no arguing that. There's no arguing it. When you sitting up here, well, I've been working for this long, you trying to argue the damn case, forget the damn case. I brought my certifications. There you go. On your table. There it is. Now this what you gonna pay me. Because I'm not saying I'm this good. ASC is saying I'm this good. But you're refusing to do that. You're refusing to invest. So you are taking something that could be paying you $150,000 a year. And I don't know what you're getting right now, but it's certainly not that. How much are you making now?
Over 50,000.
So you're basically getting a third what you could be getting. So you want my advice to you from a guy who's worked in transportation, had a bunch of vehicles with a bunch of mechanics. I know the ins and outs. You are a mechanic who is not investing in learning his craft. And none of this is going to work out for you until you do. You went to Job Corps. Congratulations. That was the entry fee. You are a LPN. You want to get to nurse practitioner status? You need to keep investing in yourself. And so far, you're not doing it. And no one is going to take you seriously in your profession until you have more ASEs and keep them current and up to date. That is your leverage.
Okay.
Get to it.
Okay.
I created the Black channel because I wanted a place the type of place I wished I could have found when I was their age. A place where you got somebody who ain't guessing, somebody who's not posing, somebody who's not pretending, somebody who has lived this, been there, done that, bringing you the real thing, not your damn drunk ass uncle pretending he knows, not bringing you actual real things. I can name the certifications, I can name the courses, I can name what you need. You know why? Because I've been there. If you all want to know what I was doing at 22 and 23 years old, when some of these old niggas in their 50s who are just now trying to get their lives together off of internet donations, you want to know what I was doing 20 years ago? When I was 22 and 23 years old, that's what I was doing. I was doing that. I had to sift through lawyers and CPAs and mechanics. I had to find the good ones. I didn't have anybody to explain it to me. I had to find out the hard way what separated a good mechanic from a bad one. I had to find out the hard way what would allow you to progress. I had to find these things out the hard way. So I'm bringing you all my over 2 decades of experience, hard knocks, stubbing my toe, hitting my shins, breaking my arm, losing my business twice, suing people all over the damn place. I'm bringing you all my experiences. Things that you can validate because I am the only person anywhere who gives you a telephone number that you can call. And you can I don't screen calls. Poser. I don't screen them. I give a telephone number that anybody can just call up. Now, the young dumb people looking to be patted on the hand, they don't know no better. You can take them. You can't take my audience. My audience knows the real damn thing. The people who listen to me know the real damn thing. You're talking to somebody who you just pick up the phone. People, does it make sense what I'm saying? If somebody was really making money like that, they ain't got time to book a session. I got real things to take care of. I do this as a vocation to my people. And I prove it because you can call me up out of nowhere. If you want express service, you can have that. But anybody, I ain't head hunting on the internet for females. You're never going to hear me say the only people who can call me are females every day. We need real black folk who really live this. I appreciate Dr. Claude Anderson. He's really lived this. I appreciate Donahue Peebles. He really lived this. I was mentored by men and women who really did this. I was mentored by people who lived this. In this internet age where folk pose and pretend to be all kinds of things. But when folk call up with a simple question about being a mechanic, I didn't give him my philosophy on mechanics. I'm giving you the benefit of over 2 decades of me getting beat up, getting beat down, getting took, getting swindled, getting messed over, cars getting screwed up, trucks getting screwed up, and learning as I went. So now you just get the benefit of what I've learned. And I pass that on to you. I'm giving you the game as it was given to me. And this is what I wish, this is the type of access information that I wish I could have gotten when I was that age. I wish I'd had somebody, not some poser. I wish I had somebody who really knew. He really been there. He really knew. Oh yeah, and he would answer the damn phone. He would actually answer the damn phone. I'm him. So I'm trying to give you all the benefit of what I wish I would have had at that age. The only person who comes close to that, I think, is Bruce Williams. I gotta check and see if Bruce Williams is even alive. But if you all remember radio host Bruce Williams, he was the only person you're ever gonna find who came close to that. Yeah, we needed a black Bruce Williams. We, as black people, we really needed a black Bruce Williams. We ain't had him. Because a lot of black folk are out here, especially black males, they hustle their way from one place to another. They jive talk their way from one place to another. They slick talk their way from one place to another. But when you pin them down, and that's another reason, beware a black male who says he doesn't want to speak to other black men. Beware that. Beware a black male who claims to be an authority on high earnings, high value, and high income, but he says his rule is that he will not speak to other black men. Beware that. Some of y'all looking for a daddy figure. I'm here to offend you. If the truth offends you, let it be. Some of y'all are looking for a white daddy figure. So you let some alt-right Canadian in his 2011 Audi R8 sit up here and run game on you. In the chat room, you said Bruce died last year. It's very sad. When I was much younger, I used to listen to Bruce. Bruce was quintessential. If they ever have a library of his broadcasts, I would buy the whole damn thing. Bruce was a real damn thing, but he was like me. Made from the ground entrepreneur, got the brakes and rotors beat off his ass until he learned. But there's a whole bunch of dudes on the internet today trying to take advantage of what you don't know. They're taking advantage of what you don't know, and they're gonna make a little bit of money, nowhere near what those of us who are legit making, but it's good enough for them. I just need the rest of y'all to wake up and understand this, because I need more truthfully, sincerely informed people. I don't need a bunch of folk who think they know. I need people who actually know. I'm going to take one or two more phone calls because we've been doing over 3 hours here today. Let me get caller from area code 414. You're on Live with the Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Fred, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay, Fred, take your phone off speaker. Or if you're sitting, got the phone up under your bra, take it off. Come on, let's get it together.
Aaron, can you hear me?
Okay, Fred, calling from where?
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
All right, what's on your mind, Fred?
I'm just going to get some advice on how to better break being an introvert so I can take myself to the next level.
Well, I can certainly hear the introversion. But let me find out here, when did this become an issue for you, where you felt like you needed to do something, and why?
Oh, it's always been an issue. I just never knew how to tackle it.
Okay, do you have a family of it?
Yeah, father.
Okay, what about your mom?
No, she's not like that.
Okay, did you spend most of your time around your dad or your mom?
Mother.
Okay, you spent most of your time around your mother, who was not an introvert, but apparently took after your father in that way. All right, for those of you who really want a real education, if you want to look up introverts, extroverts, and ambiverts, by the way, just so you be aware, a lot of these traits come from birth, okay? So there have been a bunch of studies that have been done about this. With babies, we start to see the cues and the mannerisms of introverts, extroverts, and ambiverts from infancy. So yes, it is something that you can learn from, but let's just be very, very clear. Introverts, extroverts, and ambiverts is really something that, you know, it's inherited. We can actually see it. They can actually see it in infants. The way that they behave, interact, act with themselves, body language, we can see this from infancy. So there is a genetic component. There is. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't modify it. You can learn, okay? These are social skills. These are social abilities. That doesn't mean you can't learn it, but just understand there is that. So let me find out here. I guess the number one question I would have is, Do you read?
Yes, sir.
How much do you read?
A lot.
Okay, a lot don't tell me nothing. What's the last book you read?
Black Label White Wealth, Dr. Claude Hansen.
Okay, when did you read that?
About a month ago.
Okay. And what's the book you read before that?
Well, I'm into Sherlock Holmes, so I read Sherlock Holmes novels.
So he reads fiction.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the issue that I have. Introverts tend to do a lot of reading. What they don't do is a lot of interaction with the real world. And that is what you need to start doing. Because understand, your network is your net worth. So you're going to have to start learning to, yes, the only reason you want to be read is so that when you do talk to other people, you ain't starting from zero. Just like people call me up. I can name books. I'm not really a real big bookhead like that, but I read. But for the purpose of being able to interact with other people and converse better with other people, so that there's something that it helps us more easily find a mutual point of common interest. If you're not reading for that purpose, you're not reading. It doesn't make any sense. So it's not enough for you to just do that, okay?
Okay.
If you're going to read, you need to be taking that into account. Let me give you something right here. You all remember the old Mortal Kombat? Was it Mortal Kombat 4 for the Super NES? I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was Super NES. At the beginning of it, when it would come on and it had this proverb, there is no knowledge, there's not power. I want you to remember that.
You're right.
Now, don't read a bunch of superfluous stuff if you can avoid it, but, everything needs to serve you. All right? Everything needs to serve you. And knowledge is useful, but only if you take it into the world. It's not useful between your ears. And you become an avid reader, but you're not picking up that knowledge and saying, okay, let me go use it. Let me find out here, what kind of car do you drive?
It's a 2011 Chevy HHR.
No. Say that again, brother.
2011 Chevy HHR.
How old are you?
48.
Brother, how did life get here? You used to be
first marriage.
You used to be somebody. You used to be a fellow with hopes and dreams and aspirations. Now, how we get here? 2011 HHR, man, 48 years old. I can see. All right. How much money are you making a year now?
60,000.
Okay, for those, I used to be a car dealer. For those of you who don't know, go look up the HHR. This was back during the era when Chrysler brought out that Plymouth Prowler, that retro look. So go take a look when they brought back the Plymouth Prowler, when Ford brought back the Thunderbird. This was a bit of a retro looking car from General Motors. The front of it was kind of funky. It's kind of a wagon looking SUV was really what it was supposed to be. It was more of a wagon looking thing. But Chevy HHR, they don't make it anymore, thank God. But what I'm saying here, brother, is do you understand that's a lot of where this is coming from? How long have you had that car?
Since it came out.
Okay, your car is old enough to go to middle school. Okay, how long have you been divorced?
Oh, over 15 years.
Okay, so the car is the result of the divorce? Something don't matter. Something doesn't work out here.
No, I got that well after the divorce.
Okay. In the chat room, they said Jason used to do everything. Not everything, just most everything, but it's called experience, lad. Thank you, Cup from Transformers. I said, yeah, I've got experience. I've been there. I've done that. I'm not guessing my way. I can tell you what happened when I was there. There's a reason why I haven't repeated very many mistakes in life, because I learned the first time, because I did a lot of exploring. Okay, here's the issue I have here, brother. It sounds like what got you down knocked you down. Do you have any kids?
Yes, sir. 2.
Okay. It sounds like what got you down knocked you down. And it sounds like, there's some other issues there. So that does kind of concern me. How old are your kids?
24 and 27.
Okay, 24, 27. Your kids ain't kids anymore.
No.
Okay, so right now we need to work on getting us together. What is your skill?
IT, computer engineering.
Okay, well, you are not a small fry of this. What is your goal income?
My goal is to double my income within a year.
Okay, and to you, that number would be what?
100K plus.
Okay. Here's the issue that I have with that. Technically, you should already be there. I don't know what the issue with the marriage was. Just real quickly, why did you say that at the beginning?
Divorce, child support.
Okay.
I got hit really hard with child support, so.
Okay. Define hit really hard.
60% of my income.
60% of your income in child support? That doesn't sound right. That doesn't even sound close to right. What really happened?
So listen.
I mean, even in the state of California, that would be extreme.
Yeah, I got done wrong in the child support case. Didn't have a good lawyer to begin with, so that didn't help.
Well, even still, brother, I mean, 60%, that's unreal. So I know it's not child support. How many kids is that for?
Both daughters.
Okay, 2 kids. And how much were you making when the child support went into effect?
At that time, I was about 45, 47.
45, 47,000?
Right.
In what state?
It's still Wisconsin.
Okay, brother, yeah, that doesn't even sound right. Did you cheat on her or something?
No, it was the other way around.
Okay, and she cheated on you. There's no way in the hell you're supposed to be paying 60% in child support. So I'm not even sure if that number is correct. I do know that's not right. That's just not right. If you haven't gone back to court to adjust that, you need to. That's outrageous. Did you just, somebody just, because you would have had to sign off on that, man. That's not really, 60% isn't something that gets taken from you. You would have had to say, yeah, that's all right. I mean, that's a judge isn't going to just volunteer 60%. That's not going to happen. So something really, really whack. If that did occur, something outrageous happened here. So something's not right. Something's really not right. Are you sure you didn't have an introvert moment in court? Because if you did, that would make sense. If she just said, Yana, 60%, and you didn't say nothing, okay, that would make sense. If you went into court and you had
a lot of it, I would say a lot of it was my fault. Yeah.
Okay,
speak up like I should.
He had a bad brother. You picked the wrong damn time to turn into Tickle Me Damn Elmo. You picked the wrong time for that. Wrong time. Well, like I say, definitely. Like I say, it's just one of those things. You need to go get that redone. Because that ain't even near about right for $40,000. That's not even near about right. It's not even supposed to really allow that to happen because that pushes your income down so low. You would be in the 20s. What the hell are you supposed to do on $20,000 a year? So I'm just saying, either what you're saying to me is not correct, or if it was, if that actually didn't happen, that would just be unreal. That would be unreal. You are on the right track career-wise, but brother, what you need is counseling. Why haven't you gone to get it?
That's a question I can't answer.
Okay, let me find out. Are you still paying child support now?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay. All right, DM, be quiet. In any case here, definitely, brother, you're dealing with some issues here. Certainly. I certainly think that this has been bothering you, and that's okay. If you want to increase your social skills, that's great, but you can't increase the social skills of someone with no confidence. Especially if you're dealing with childhood issues, if you're dealing with inferiority complexes that you've had since childhood, you need to have somebody who can help you work through those.
Okay.
Because anything else is just wasting time. But right now, you need to have somebody who can deal with that, because these are, I'm hearing all sorts of unresolved childhood issues. I'm hearing all sorts of them. Until you get that taken care of, you're not going to get anything done. Not anything substantive. If you're just walking around nursing all these wounds from your childhood, you're a sitting duck until the next female takes you. Or the next male, for that matter. People are just going to be taken from you. So, number one, while you're doing all the rest of this stuff, do a Tony Soprano. Get a therapist so they can help you deal with that. So you can get off this hamster wheel. Does he have any friends? Hell no, he ain't got no friends. You don't have any friends, do you?
Well, I'm with an organization.
Okay. Like I said, he doesn't have any friends. So he doesn't have any friends. Well, like I say, I mean, certainly if you've been doing counseling, therapy, that's going to be the first thing you want to do. Because it sounds like what you're doing professionally and stuff, you're trying to get your money up and stuff, that's good. But we're dealing with some emotional issues here.
Okay.
Once you get those resolved, things are going to get easier. But you got to deal with that first. So yes, you are certainly an introvert. That certainly sets you back. I would love for you at this critical juncture, while you got your credentials together, you're getting your weight up, get you somebody who can help you get emotionally together so that your weight stays up.
Okay, that's what I'll do.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Yeah, 60%. Never heard of that right there. The only way that can happen is if you didn't say anything in court. But some folk prey on that. But then again, there wasn't much to prey on. He was making $45,000 a year. That ain't much to prey on, to be totally honest. Caller from area code 682. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello, this is Chad.
Chad calling from where?
Hello? This is Chad from Dallas, Texas.
Chad, another introvert.
Yeah, guess you could say.
What is it, Chad?
I just wanted to call.
We found the first Chad that no female today would consider to be an alpha. So, congratulations, brother. You've made history. You're the first Chad that no female would consider to be an alpha. What is it, Chad?
I'm just wanting to get some advice. I'm like basically.
My first bit of advice would be stop mumbling. You talking to a grown ass man? Don't mumble at me.
I just wanted to get some advice. Like right now, I'm just working 2 jobs that I'm basically not even making. Like last year, I made 20,000. This year, I'm making. Just got a little raise at 14 at one job and 14 at another at a grocery store. And I just want to get some advice as to like right now I don't have a car, and I was wondering like would it be like smart for me to just. I'm saving money. I'm trying to get my credit right. Credit's like around 600. And I don't know. I just want to see like would it be a good advice for me to go back to school or to.
All right. First of all, slow down. How old are you?
28.
Okay. You're in Dallas, Texas?
Yeah.
Are you actually in Dallas proper, or are you like in Mesquite, DeSoto, Addison, Richardson?
No, I'm in Dallas.
Okay, you're in Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas City.
You're in Dallas proper.
Yeah.
Okay. Not the cheapest place to be, but how many hours a week are you working?
I'm about to be working 40 hours at one job and like
About
25,
to be working. Okay.
around 30.
Okay, so 40 at one and then 25 at another, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 60, 65 hours a week. That's not bad if you're making $28 an hour at each. I'm sorry, you say you're making 14, correct?
Yeah, 14, yeah, both jobs.
Okay. All told there, so you're making altogether you're making about $20 an hour. About. When you put those two together, because I'm not going to count hours you're not actually working, but technically speaking, you're making about $20 an hour. Okay. First order of business here. That's not bad, but you're certainly right. I mean, having to do that is certainly going to take a toll on you. You need to get some skills together. Do you have a car?
No, that's what I'm basically working two jobs for.
Okay, how slow? Okay, just yes or no questions here because we're short on time, and Blog Talk's going to cut you off here in a moment. Now, how old were you again?
28.
Okay, at 28, you're just starting to get your paper together. Do you have any kids?
No.
Okay, niggas want to wait forever to start getting the act together, but okay. All right, with the situation that you're looking at here now, you definitely need a skill because they can replace you with an illegal at one of them jobs at any day. So you need to have a skill to proof you against that. Do you have any savings in the bank?
Very little.
No,
right now.
okay, you don't have any savings. All right. So what you're doing is basically you're starting out, I guess at 28, better late than never. It's not a whole lot of ability here, okay? So you're going to need to work is what you're going to have to do. I'm not going to necessarily tell you to buy a car because a car payment is expensive. How are you getting to work now?
Taking the bus.
Okay.
And Lyft.
Okay. The only thing about Lyft is Lyft can be expensive. And that's the only thing about that. Lyft and Uber and stuff, that can kind of, it depends. How much does it cost you at Uber or Lyft every day you go to work? How much does that cost?
Like around $10. But usually I just like Lyft.
Okay, sir, just all I need is the information, just the facts. Now, is that $10 both ways?
Yes, if I would take Lyft both ways, yeah.
Okay, so what I'm saying is on an average day of you going to work, you said it cost about $10, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's correct.
Technically speaking, here's the issue with that. At that rate, you're spending about $200 a month just getting there.
Yeah.
So we're entering territory where, it would probably be, you'd probably be better off doing something different. Now, here's something else for me to ask you. Is there any way that you could take the bus going and coming, even if it took you more time?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, because cut that Lyft thing out. You're 28 years old. You're not anybody's status symbol. You're just building right now. You need to cut expenses. That Lyft thing might get you home quicker. Brother, you don't have the option of that right now. Even if it takes you a little bit longer, I would advise you to just take the bus coming and going because anything else is going to sap money from you. And you're not ready to buy a car yet. And let me tell you why.
Yep.
If all you got is $1,000 or $1,500, you're going to just grab the first thing you can get your hands on. And that's not really what you want to do. You really need to have a car that's in decent shape that will hold you for a while. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And you need to be able to do that from a position of strength. You can't do that if you go in there with $1,000. You're going to take whatever the hell you can get. As far as your credit is concerned, the only thing credit is good for is using. So, what is your credit like now?
Right. I believe it's 590 or 600.
Okay, your credit sucks. Which means if you try to finance a car, you're going to get a high rate. I'm going to recommend. Why is your credit so bad? What did you do?
Well, messed up in relationships. Had a couple apartments that, didn't go through, and like cable and stuff.
Okay, so what you were doing was living with some females.
Yeah.
Okay, you started out early with that. No kids, or do you have any kids?
No kids.
Okay, well, hopefully you were fortunate enough to avoid that bit of stupidity. Keep it that way. Kids are a tremendous expense. That will really wreck you. Right now, you need to focus on you. No kids. Really, to be totally honest with you here, no females. You need to focus on you. You've already done that and messed yourself up enough. It's time to get focused on your money. It's time to get focused on grinding, period. Because the next decade of your life is going to determine the next 5 decades. Do you understand?
Yeah.
What you do or don't do in the next 10 years is going to set the tone for everything after it. If you're still struggling by 38, you're going to be in terrible shape by 40.
Yes.
So what I'm going to recommend to you here, brother, you ain't got time to impress nobody. You're not trying to impress nobody but the bank. Get you a bus pass and save up every spare dollar you can. Do like them illegals over there in Dallas. Get you a bus pass and get you an umbrella and a bus pass and save every spare dollar you can get. Get you a couple of $1,000. Yes, you can get a car, but to be totally honest with you, even if I could avoid that, I would. Because I would be more concerned about, you asked the right questions, I would be more concerned about the credit than anything else. And you have all of that together, and that will help you. Start making desperate decisions, and those desperate decisions hang off of you. Don't worry about impressing anybody. Somebody in the chat room said they invested in a good electric bike. That might be a good idea for you. But a car is a real expense. You're 28 years old. I'm going to tell you right now, if you've been getting to work on the bus already, that means they're not terribly far. I'm really going to suggest to you, cut that spending. Every dollar you give out to everyone else is something. Remember the old saying, pay yourself first. You're refusing to pay yourself. Put that money in your damn savings. You're making $20 an hour here and whatnot. It's not bad, but it's not great either. Put yourself in a position to make that next move. The next move is you need a skill.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. I wanted to, like you said, become a truck driver. I mean, you impressed me with everything. A lot of people are calling in. I want to really
get
my
that.
CDL,
Very good.
Save up for that.
Very good. And you could do that. You could do that within 6 months. You could do that within 6 months. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, the only issue is those places are far out too, So that's why I want to get more mobile, to be able to do go to class and actually do it in 6 months.
Yes, you can. Although they do have employers that will do that also, though you have to look for that. But definitely you're on the right idea. But I'm just telling you right now, at the stage you're at right here until we get there, you really do need to just save up your money, take the bus, whatever, but you need to cut your expenditures. You need to save money. So yes, drop Lyft. Even if it takes you a little bit longer on the bus, save the money. Now, unless it's like some physical hazard. Now, if there's some physical threat where they just keep, if the last bus stop is at the corner of Havoc and Mayhem, then, you don't want to be there. But if that's not the situation, brother, you just need to, right now you're in a building phase. Worst thing you can do is worry about anything other than building. So get out of that Lyft, get out of that Uber, save up every dime here, get your chips together. It'll cost you $1,500 to go to truck driving school. Technically, you ought to be able to do that in a month or two. Although I'm going to give you a few months longer than that. But I wouldn't worry about getting the car so much because that's really a superficial thing. You're going to need money even after you get out of that school. Because at that point, you got to go work for somebody else. So I would rather you wait until you're sure before you just spend money willy-nilly. That'd be my advice. Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. I used to live in Dallas. That's my old stomping grounds. A lot of things to learn. Well, the class clowns got run out of here tonight. We did our job. We did our duty. I hope a lot of you learned a lot from this here. A lot of information I want for you to pick up from it and then act on it. I didn't say it was going to be easy. But as Bruce Willis used to say, I didn't never say it was going to be easy, but who said it had to be? If you are new here to the business, I want to welcome you to this channel, to my truck drivers, my night shift nurses, my mechanics working overnight, my stockers, all my people who, you're working those long hours out there, my truck drivers going down the freeway, my self-employed people burning the midnight oil when you get around and listen to this and whatnot. We're going to get you we're going to carry you halfway through your shift. We're going to get you halfway through it. So definitely go ahead and do that. If you're new here to the business, click that red subscribe button. Click that yellow notification bell. If you're not a member of my Patreon, that's where it goes down. Exclusive content. We're gearing up for another Get Your Weight Up, the last Get Your Weight Up Wednesday. Folks are still in my inbox and everything else raving about it. For my people who are subscribers on Patreon, Get Your Weight Up. We're definitely getting ready to do another one of those in the very near future, so you want to join us for that as well. Hope you learned something from this. Hope it benefited you there. Put it to use. I want to thank everyone tonight who contributed to tonight's program, either through the Streamlabs, CashApp, or Super Chat. I want to thank you for that right there. I appreciate it when people put their money where their mouths are. It certainly helps show how much people are engaged. You know who you are there, and we appreciate that from you there. EM2 Twice and everybody else who was involved in tonight's program. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of The Business. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, Mr. Jason Black. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, well...
Yeah, what's up? This your homeboy Ice Cube, man. Don Mega. I want to give a shout out to Jason Black. I understand you keep 10 toes down. Yeah, man, haters gonna hate and builders gonna build, man. Keep chasing that power, wealth, and influence. It's 7 a.m., man. Handle your business or it's gonna handle you.